Statements expressed on the program are solely those of Investor Schooling or their guests and do not reflect the opinions of WPHT.
You're live.
WPHT, WPHT-HD, WOGL HD3 Philadelphia. From the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Always live on the free Odyssey app. The Larry Steinhouse Show.
All right. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the Larry Steinhouse Show. We are broadcasting live from Investor Schooling headquarters right here in Bucks County, Pennsylvania. I am Larry Steinhouse. I am the CEO of Investor Schooling, and I'm here to make financial education fun and accessible to everyone, including you. What are you guys doing?
Nothing. We're not doing anything.
I can never, ever get through.
We wouldn't say anything.
Exactly. We didn't say a word.
No. Debbie's curling her hair, and Omri's making fun faces
I
at
am
her.
not. I'm telling her, shh.
Okay.
So you will do the intro.
So I can finish the intro without you guys interrupting?
Nobody interrupted
saying
you.
anything. We were purposely not saying anything.
Fine. On this show, we discuss several ways of making more money. We concentrate on real estate investing, stock option trading, the stock market, and how to maximize your retirement future. Doing it again.
I always curl my hair. What
do
do
you
you
do
want
with
so
the hair?
curly?
You do not. You're making fun of me.
I'm not. I'm making funny because you have no hair.
If you want to be part of this craziness, you can call it 855-939-1137. Yes, we have no idea what will happen in the next 2 hours. So call and figure out with us at 855-939-1137.
What's the number again?
My person 855-939-1137.
That's
now
right.
you can finish the intro.
That's right. That's the phone number. You can call about anything and everything. We are also live on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and YouTube. And, of course, there's Kimmy saying hello.
Hello,
Omri's number one
Kimmy.
fan. Right? I'm also here with my awesome co-hosts, Dr. Deb Anderson and Omri Morad, known as the Immigrant.
Known.
We also have our
What do we have?
sweet
producer.
Len Page, and we have Justin here training too.
Yes.
We haven't heard a word from Justin yet, have we?
He's still shy.
He didn't even say anything yet.
He's still shy. He
You
doesn't know
keep
yet.
insulting the producers, so they're changing them all the time.
I know. Well, it's because
I know Glenn's king. We
Glenn
never
said-
insult Glenn.
No, we love Glenn. I
Yeah,
know.
we love Glenn.
He needs to come to lunch again.
Yeah.
Man, of course,
You
the Larry
guys are
Steinhouse.
you're scaring the hell out of Justin.
Oh, Justin, you have no idea, Justin.
Is he still in the control room?
You didn't warn him about us, Glenn? Come on.
I told him earlier that we made the last one cry, but Glenn said don't tell him that.
No, the last one was a woman. You don't remember?
You
Yeah,
just
we made
did.
her cry, remember?
You
Oh, I
just
don't know.
did it. You just told him.
Right, I know. And by the way, just to continue this intro that I never get through, the Larry Steinhouse Show is brought to you by Investor Schooling. At Investor Schooling, we teach you things about money I'll bet you never knew. Hey, we focus on practical learning and we'll equip you with real-world skills in real estate investing, stock options, tax-saving tips, and the secrets of financial freedom. And our headquarters is located right here in Bucks County. But our online courses teach eager investors all over the country. RSVP for a free class this Thursday night at
855. Oh, I'm sorry. That's investorschooling.com.
That's right, investorschooling.com.
That's investorschooling.com.
So we have a lot of fans here, don't we?
We do.
It's amazing. Last week we had our event, and we had so many people showed up, and I'm so happy. They all say they showed up just to hear Omri say the phone number, and to find out why Dr. Deb puts up with the two of us,
And Larry will
which I thought was very interesting because I don't quite know why.
and for Larry to shoot at them with the money gun.
Yeah, we shot money, and everybody has to shoot too. Absolutely, yeah. Okay, so
I think we should get some of the perks of that when you should shoot the gun at us so we get some of that money.
Yes.
You should fill it up with like hundreds or
you
something.
want to bend over and pick up $1 bills?
No, not $1
Because
bills.
you're in the wrong profession if you want to bend over and pick up $1
You
bills.
can't
No,
say
no,
that.
that's not what I was
in the
saying.
air.
That's
Yeah.
not what I was saying.
Usually, people who bend over and pick up $1 bills aren't PhDs.
I have no interest in picking up $1 bills.
I know. That's what I said. So that's what I did. So we sprayed
Not my
$1
area.
bills in the audience, and everybody bent over and picked them up.
That's an assumption. That's a very bad assumption.
What's that?
You said that a person that will go and pick up dollar bills from the floor around the pole can.
Did I say around a pole?
He did not say around
Did I
the
say
pole.
anything about a pole?
No, he didn't say about the pole.
There's no
but
pole.
But I know.
Can't have a PhD. And last
Did
week.
I say they can't?
Last week.
I said they don't.
You
He said they
Last
don't.
week.
You want me to tell you exactly what I said? I said, usually, Someone bending over, picking up dollar bills doesn't have a PhD. That's all I said. You assumed everything else.
Yes, I know. It's me. I'm sorry.
Yes, you have a dirty mind.
Yes, okay.
We talked about that before to show you that you have a dirty mind.
We did, and last week we talked about the difference between a person with a degree and a person without a degree, how much they earn. How much a person with a degree earn and without a degree earn. So you can never know.
What?
You can never
Well, we
know.
happen to talk about that, but it's like he doesn't understand
You
that sometimes.
sprung to something totally not related.
Right, that's beside the point. But he also sometimes has to realize that it's not just me you're talking to, right?
No, I
You're
get
talking to
it.
at least 3 people listening on the radio right
I
now.
think 4. I'm just saying.
Two guys in the producer studio.
Yeah, one is
Right.
sweet.
Right, one is sweet and the other one is scared.
Yes.
Poor Justin.
Right.
He's like, I'm never coming back here
He's
again.
running
Okay.
away
I'm not
right
covering
now.
this
I
show
know.
anymore.
When you try to explain the things you try to explain, you need to.
I
have
am
some
just
background.
saying that your assumption that a person that with a PhD can't go and work in a job or be in a position that they will pick up $1 bill, it's not okay. That's all. Everybody can pick $1 bills. Bend over and pick $1 bills, regardless to what degree they have.
You're absolutely correct. I just happened to say, and I'll say it again, so maybe you'll understand it. I said usually someone with a PhD isn't bending over and picking up dollar bills.
Okay.
That's all I said.
Okay.
And again, you just keep assuming everything else. You added something about a poll. I mean, what do you mean by a poll?
Come on. Well, if I see a dollar bill, on the side of the street, I will bend over.
Hey,
and
I'm
take
bending
it up.
over and picking up pennies.
Of course, me
Yeah.
too.
Right?
Yeah, so I'll bend
Exactly.
over.
So you guys know about that, right? Picking up pennies. Why do we pick up pennies?
Why? I don't know. Luck.
Well, because we're all Jewish.
There is something.
I don't know. I heard at least 4 people on the radio screaming, "Oh, they're all Jewish. That's why." Yeah, okay. You what do we call that? Racist or a bigot?
I have no idea anymore. It's
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
But the reason you pick up pennies is because if God gives you a penny and you pick it up, He might give you a $5 bill or a $10 bill or a $100,000 bill or a property or something else. So
Yes.
So make sure you count all your blessings, including the pennies. Mm-hmm. That's why you pick up the penny. Don't necessarily pick up the penny and go, "Wow, I'm rich," but definitely pick up the penny and thank God for giving you that penny. Correct?
yes, agreed.
And that will help you in your money mindset, which we talk about a lot at Investor Schooling. Your money mindset. Why can people get anything they want? Because they
just want it.
deserve it.
When
right.
you want something enough, you will get it.
That's exactly right. Just ask your wife, because your wife wanted you to be my friend so badly that now you're my friend. In case I haven't told you that story, this is the whole story with that. I think I told you this last week, but I'll tell it again.
You tell that story actually quite a bit.
Yeah, I know.
You do. You do quite a
but
bit.
the
you
story's
say.
He do many
hysterical.
things to boost his ego. It's not only this
it's-
story.
No, it's not. No. It's not boosting my ego.
I don't think it's an ego thing. I think it's just he does. He just
So that's the only
forgets.
reason you're a friend with me.
He forgets that he told the story, so he has to remind himself about the story so that
Listen,
he can
I'm
share the
60
story
years
with everybody
old.
else.
I forget in the morning what I walked into a room for.
Okay.
Just understand that.
I hope it's not the bathroom.
Sometimes it is.
Really?
Sometimes I walk in the bathroom. I said, "What did I come in here for?" I have no idea. Right?
So I'm thinking that maybe, just maybe,
Maybe.
leave the potty stuff out of the
Body?
stuff out of the show.
Okay.
Yeah,
What?
In a-
Yeah,
I don't know.
I'm not really into potty humor that much.
You know
It's
the potty
just-
universe?
I'm not into potty humor.
are we leaving the potty humor out in a 1 or a 2 bedroom apartment?
Ah,
We can go back to real estate
Is
right
it a
now.
1 or a 2 bedroom?
Bathroom, I said.
Oh, okay.
I said bedroom?
Do you do number 1 in 1 bedroom? And
can
number
we
2 in
stop with this?
No, I don't say.
All right, let's get into something.
Yes, 10
Something
minutes.
else.
Now
Yeah.
it's the time.
I mean,
Something else,
we got
yes.
Justin going here. What am I listening to?
Oh my god.
Oh my goodness! Everybody else can turn the radio off. He can't. All right, give us the phone number one more time in case anybody wants to call in with any questions.
That's 855-939-1137. Again, that's 855-939-1137. 855-939-1137.
What? Come on, you got to do a couple more times. Let's go.
That's 855-939-1137. I promise you, I have other things I'm good at besides saying 855
Oh, I don't believe that.
939 1137.
You're not so good at buying properties.
I am.
You were.
I still am. And sometimes we're buying properties because we want them and not because they are the best deals. And it happens.
So here's the thing, right? So and I say this all the time. If you absolutely are in this business long enough, you're going to make mistakes. A lot of them.
Of course.
Okay, so it's okay to make mistakes. I mean, your mistake is not terrible. You bought this property, you overpaid for it, and now we're renovating it. You want to talk about the story about us renovating this? It's a 2-bedroom, 1-bath that's in Langhorne, and you bought it, and you overpaid for it.
A bit.
And now, you came to me and you said, "Hey, what can we do to make this property worth more?" So I went in there and I started ripping walls out.
I don't know why he's laughing. I'm crying.
You know what I think is interesting because it's because with me and Monroe, I've been very sensitive about that and I get upset about it. But what was interesting is what was it yesterday, the day before, he started talking to you about your place, and just the anger and the emotion that popped up out of nowhere blew my mind. And I'm like, wow, that's how I have been with Monroe, and I didn't realize it until I saw it.
Oh, I'm so glad that it happened. And you saw it, and it's okay. Look, I tiptoed it a little bit with you, but Omri got you really annoyed often with that property.
But
yeah.
Omri also got her the solutions.
Well, no,
we have
the solution,
this.
The solution is you helped her with a solution. And I know what you mean. You brought in the contractor. I get it, but
we had this discussion many times before that sometimes as a friend you need to say, "Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that." And me as a friend, when a person come to me with a problem, and I know sometimes it's too pushy. And I think I got it, by the way, after the call that me and you did with my aunt. I think I got it from her. But sometimes when somebody call you with a problem and is a friend, you want to help. You want to find a solution. You want to be from objective way of what's good for them and say, do this, do that.
So here's the thing, right? And it's funny because I practiced. I studied psychology a lot. You know why?
No.
Because that's how I got married 4 times.
Clearly,
right?
it didn't take.
You go to marriage counseling enough time, and you realize that marriage counselors do nothing but break up marriages. But they do teach you certain things. And one of the things they taught me is that men like to fix things. Right? So as soon as a woman starts to say, "Hey, this isn't going right in my life," we try to fix it.
Yes.
So it's interesting that you say this, and I'll tell you why. Because sometimes as a friend, and I'm saying this as a woman,
of course,
sometimes I just want you to listen to me rant.
Exactly.
And
that's
not
exactly right.
just listen and not do anything else. And sometimes I want your help. And if I want your help, I'm going to be like, what do you think I should do? Or what do you think? But sometimes I just want you to sit back, listen, and listen to me talk about whatever it is that's bothering me, so that I can get it off my chest and that be it.
I get you.
And guys don't realize that. And that's
exactly
where,
correct.
And that's why, that's why some of those arguments happen.
Right. And then sometimes it's like, I don't care if you only want to have me listen to you. I'm still going to tell you what you need to do because I'm a man. And that's the reality. Like women want hugs and men want to be punched.
Punched?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't mean like, punch knocked out.
No, I get it.
And it's reality. Anyway, let's go to Ed. What's going on, man? Ed and Delco, what's happening?
Larry, can you hear me?
I can hear you. What's happening, Ed?
Hey, what's up? First, I wanted to thank you all for the last Saturday. It was an awesome day. It was an awesome day.
Oh, we hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah, thanks. You guys enjoy it?
I brought my nephew. Yeah.
Cool.
My nephew learned a lot of things that he didn't know. It was a real eye opener for him. He took a lot away from it, so that's good.
What was the best thing
but
for him?
I need some help. He was really interested in the whole life policies.
Oh yeah.
And
great.
Just didn't know that you could do that.
Yeah, and as you guys know, I'm not licensed. I just do this. I teach this, and I let you go buy your own policy any way you want. I have people I recommend. But I just teach it. It's great stuff if you use the whole life policy the right way. So what was your question now?
Absolutely. So I'm I'd heard of this property, and I'm just trying to decide which kind of trust to put it in, because I want to save it from. I want to protect it from creditors. Number one.
All right. So give everybody the whole story.
Well, I heard of this property from my mother, and right now it's in my name alone. But I want to get it out of my name and into a trust.
Okay, what are you doing with the property? You live there?
And stuff like that. I'm going to live there for forever, I guess. It's my personal property. Yeah.
Okay, great.
So
the thing with
but I want to protect it from any kind of creditors and stuff like that.
Right. So the thing with personal with like a property you're living in, it's not as important.
Larry, can you explain what he mean by protected from creditors? Because I think many listeners don't even know what he's saying.
Don't worry, I promise I will.
Okay, I appreciate you.
Larry knows.
This is Omri being a jerk. Sorry about that.
I'm not.
You are.
That's not Omri being a jerk.
Yeah, I know. So
I'm not.
the first thing
I agree.
the first thing you have to understand, Ed, is that a property you're living in, putting it in a trust is not as important as a rental property, but it's still important. So what you're trying to do is you're trying to protect it from everybody, trying to protect it from creditors. Now, understand that if you have a mortgage on the property, you're not protecting it from that creditor. That's for sure, right? You also
that's right. Yeah.
And one of the things you're trying to do, and what a lot of people try to do, understand that if the property's in your name and you have to qualify for Medicaid, well, Medicaid is going, or there's nursing home is going to make you sell that property, and then take all the proceeds from the property, pay for the nursing home before Medicaid kicks in. But if it's not in your name, then you could live there, and somebody else could be the beneficial interest in that property, not you, and that person gets the property if you go into a nursing home or if you pass away, right? And then Medicaid will kick in.
That's exactly what I want to do. That's exactly what I want to do.
Did I explain it well enough for you, Omri?
Yeah.
I'm curious about staying. I don't understand creditors. Creditors, you mean that maybe the mother had debt in the past?
No. Creditors, in his case,
Yeah.
would be his credit card company, could be Medicaid, could be a nursing home, could be doctor bills.
So the
That's
nursing
what he's
home
talking
will still be able to find out who is behind the trust and take the house.
No, but hold on, because
Okay.
there's some pieces to this that you need to also understand. So if you move the property into a trust, actually, if you were to sell this property to anybody at all, including selling it to a trust, and you can sell it to a trust for a dollar, it doesn't matter, but including selling it to a trust, there's something called a 5-year look back. So if you move this into a trust today, and you go into a nursing home, 4 years and 360 days from now, the IRS and Medicaid will look back and see that you own this property within 5 years, and they'll make you come up with the amount of money that you had that you got for this property, or what it was worth, and they'll use that money towards your nursing home. So that's a bad thing. Right. Most people don't know this. I know people with rental properties. So the reason that it's better if it's a primary residence. So in your case, you're not married, correct?
No, I'm happy.
Right.
That's funny.
We were on the track. Why do you do that?
That's so funny. That's so
so
funny.
if you're married and you go into a nursing home and your spouse is still in the house, if your spouse is still in the house, then they're not going to count that house. They're only going to count that house if it's only you're single, right? So now you want to you move it into a trust, and you do whatever you can to stay out of nursing homes for the next 5 years. Now, at our ages,
I intend to.
Yeah, I know, I understand. At our ages, and the average listener, and I always make fun of the average age listener that's listening to the show, but the reality is, the average age listener that's listening to the show right now, if your property is still in your name, you have major problems that you don't even know about. If you have more than one property and it's in your name, you have super major problems. I should say you have major problems, you have some problems, but you have problems. And you need to change the properties out of your name. Now, a lot of people, they go, oh, I know what I'm going to do. I'm thinking about going to a nursing home next week or whatever, they're not thinking about it. Something came up. I'm like, well, I'm just going to sell my property to my kids. And I'll sell it to them for whatever, for $1, and then I can go to a nursing home and I qualify for Medicaid. It doesn't work that way. You have to have the property out of your name for at least 5 years. And this is why I own nothing. So I own absolutely no properties whatsoever. All of my properties are held in trusts, and the beneficiary of the trust is my LLC. And now I own nothing. I'm not the beneficial interest. I actually own very little of my LLC. I told you guys before, I don't know if I told you this on the radio before, but I only own 10% of my LLC, which the reason I do that is now, so even if you took everything, my entire net worth, which is in this LLC, my entire net worth is in this LLC, I only own 10% of that net worth.
But it's important to explain you are still the controlling member.
I was going to go there. I promise, but thank you. but I am the managing member of this LLC, so I control all these assets. You guys, it's funny. Everybody says about the rich. The rich have all these great ideas on how to stay rich and the poor to stay poor. That's because I'm rich, but I don't own anything.
Mm-hmm.
I own nothing.
Control everything,
Right.
but own nothing.
Right.
Right.
I jokingly say, and it happens to be true, but I qualify for Medicaid right now. So if I was to go into a nursing home, I qualify for Medicaid. My wife doesn't have to sell my houses. The kids don't lose anything. Nothing changes except that I go into a nursing home, and because I'm incapacitated, my wife takes over as managing member of the LLC. So these are some incredible ways to set up your estate and estate planning. Now, I tell you all the time. I'll go to estate planning attorneys and I'll tell them what I do, how I set this up, and they're like, "Why would you do that?" And then I explain it to them, and they go, "Wow, that's a really great idea." I'm like, "You're the estate planning attorney. Why aren't you telling people this?" And they don't know. They don't understand it. I mean, the first time I went to an estate planning attorney was like 8 years ago, 10 years ago, whatever it was. And the guy writes me a will. I'm like, no. I don't want a will. I want my LLC set up this way. And I finally found a group of attorneys that I really like. And but matter of fact, is it this week or next?
Next week.
Next week.
Mm-hmm.
So not this week, but the following Thursday. The following Thursday, my attorney is going to be here, and we're going to be talking about in the front of the class. We're going to be talking about this very topic of trusts and LLCs. So if you want to go to investorschooling.com and sign up, Ed, you are in my heart. You can come anytime. All right. So if you want to come, you're welcome to come. As a matter of fact, actually, I think you should come because I think you'd have a lot of good questions to ask. So
I still have a few more questions. That'll be the night to ask them.
Yeah. So Ed has some health problems, and because of those health problems, he really needs to make sure all this stuff is in place. So I like
need to protect it from
okay.
Proactive. I want to be proactive instead of reactive in the last minute.
Right, exactly. So
what I mean?
Right. So if anybody wants to go to investorschooling.com and sign up for class, you can sign up for this Thursday's class. That's all right. We'll remind you for this Thursday. And if you sign up for this class, and not you, but if somebody listening signs up for this class, you come Thursday, and if you want to, I'll let you come the following Thursday again. So I'll give you 2 free ones, including the one with my attorney, because it'll be a great class. So all you have to do, Deb, when they call, if anybody if you talk to any one of us, let us know that you want to go to both classes, and we'll let you go to both classes. All right, but Ed, anything else going on?
All right, no, I had a biopsy Thursday on my liver, waiting for that test to come back. The test itself went okay. I'm just hoping for the best with the results. Yeah,
you know what I like about you, Ed? You just keep living. I mean, I realize that sometimes you got to be in a doctor's office for a few hours, but I get it, man. But you keep living, and that's great.
But I know you told me that Saturday. Keep living, but it's hard to live because I'm attached to that machine 3 days a week.
Yeah, I know.
It keeps me going.
I know.
So, but I do, and I enjoy doing this. I enjoy helping people, and so I am enjoying my life. I'm not wasting it away.
You're the best.
All right. Well, you keep it up, man. Don't leave a legacy, man.
All right, Zach. Thank you, buddy.
All right. Talk to you soon.
See you, Army. See you, Deb.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right. Cool.
All right.
It's always nice to talk to Ed, see how he's doing. What else we got going on?
So
did we answer all your questions about trust, Omri?
Honestly, trust, but not the creditors. I'm trying to figure out.
Do you know what a creditor is?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, what is
the
a creditor?
question I have for you is, if he move the house from his personal name to a trust, right? It's a transaction like every transaction. You just don't pay the transfer tax.
No. So wait, hold on.
I will just get to the question. Okay. What happens if there are any liens that are on the property when you transfer it from your personal name to a tax?
Liens on the property don't change.
Exactly.
They don't change. But you got to understand, he may have credit card debt.
Mm-hmm.
He may have, I don't know, he owns, maybe he has a card debt. I mean, whatever, maybe he was sued, whatever. But if he doesn't own the property because the trust owns the property,
they can't come after him.
They can't come after him. So somebody online, Heather asked, is the trust irrevocable? So irrevocable trusts have more protections for you. I don't like irrevocable trusts simply because they're irrevocable, right? So you may want to say, hey, I'm going to leave my kids, you're 40 years old, your kids are 20, and you might want to put it, because you have some assets, you might want to say, well, I'm going to leave my kids all these assets in an irrevocable trust, and your kids turn out to be holes, and it doesn't work out real well, and you might want to change it, and you can't because it's irrevocable, right?
So you can change the beneficiary, and you
can't change the beneficiary, right?
You can change the trustee.
No.
Also, no.
Yeah, you can have a contingent trustee, but no.
So the only way you can do it, I guess, is put the trustee or the beneficiary in LLC, and then you can change the member of the LLC.
Actually, that's not a bad concept. That's not a bad concept.
Mm-hmm.
But either way, I just don't like the idea, because even though maybe you don't want maybe the LLC has got a problem. You know,
yeah,
again,
I get it.
Again, I don't like irrevocable trusts. So Heather, so they're used in really specific estate planning.
Mm-hmm.
So I just try to avoid them. Plus, here's the other thing: if they're irrevocable, you can't get loans on the property. The banks just say no right away. Now, we don't use banks anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
But now the trustee and the beneficiary have to agree to the loan. It's kind of complicated. But the real concern is I'd rather be able to change my mind.
So in Ed's condition, it will help him with anything further. But if there are liens right now, it won't help him.
Right. If there are liens on the property.
Already, yeah.
If there are liens on it, it doesn't matter. So, like, if the credit card company said, hey, and again, this is not what necessarily happened, but if Ed owed $20,000 in credit card debt, right, that doesn't matter. It doesn't go with the property.
Yes, of course.
But they could eventually say, hey, listen, we want to sue and go after the property. But if it's in a trust, they're not going to go after them.
They can't.
The other thing the trust does is it gives you anonymity.
Yeah.
So now you have the name of the trust. Let's say he lives at 123 Main Street and he calls his trust 123 Main Street Trust. So they can't find who owns this property. So they look up on the MLS, they look up on public records, and it says 123 Main Street Trust owns 123 Main Street. Now they could look into it deeper, but they still may never find the trustee or the beneficiary because it's a private piece of paper.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite things about trust is that no one knows. They're not recorded anywhere. In fact, I also warn people that if you have a trust, you have a property in a trust, make sure you tell somebody.
knows, yeah.
Right, because if you don't tell anybody, then the property will disappear. Nobody will even know it existed.
Yeah.
Nobody even know the trust existed. So I actually just finalized all of my stuff the other day. Finally, all this years, months that I've been trying to put together my LLC, get it right, and get all my trusts in a row. I actually handed every single paper trust to my attorney, so now he has a record of them all.
Good.
So if anything happens to me, my wife or my kid can go to the attorney and go, okay, what do I do now? Because they're not going to know. I mean, Linda will know more than my son will, but she's still going to be stumped on what to do.
Okay.
And I always tell my kid, if Linda and I die, that number one thing he should do is pay the mortgages. Because if he doesn't pay the mortgages, all the properties get taken away.
Yeah.
And if all the properties get taken away, he loses all his inheritance.
Leave it on automatic pay.
Well, it's not automatic pay.
And give him access to
it's not automatic pay, but you got to remember, sometimes the rent's coming through Venmo, sometimes
I
it's coming
know.
through Cash App, which I hate.
I
But
know.
it's gotten to the point where you have to, technology dictates your life.
We all want to work with we all want that the money will get through things like Zelle, but we all want to pay with Venmo or Cash App.
No, what I really want,
I
is I want a PayPal, or not a PayPal, but a Cash App account for every single one of my properties.
Yes.
But they won't let you do that. They'll only give you one Cash App account per
phone.
email or per phone number.
Yes,
right?
correct.
So you can't do it, and it's terrible. It makes it very difficult.
With Zelle, by the way, you can do it by the account.
No, you can't.
Yes.
Because you have one phone number or an email.
Just open emails.
Yeah, you have to open emails, exactly. But
to
I'm not
each
going to
one
open
of
an
an
email for every
account.
one of my properties.
But I tell you one thing, because we work with trust and we believe in opening a separate bank account for each one of the trusts, which means there is a separate bank account for each one of the properties.
Right.
It's not a bad idea that each one of the properties will have his own Zelle account, for example.
You can do it. I tried to do it the other day. I tried to send somebody Zelle out of one of my other properties, but because Zelle is attached to a different bank with me, it wouldn't let me do it.
I get it.
So I had a problem. So Heather keeps asking questions. Why don't you give Heather the phone number so she can call in?
Yes, please call us, Heather, at 855-939-1137. That's 855-939-1137. We will go to a commercial break, and we hope that at that time you will call and we will answer any one of your questions. 855-939-1137. Commercial.
Or not?
No,
I don't think they're there.
they're not there.
I think Justin was already fired.
Or quit.
Maybe he already quit. Justin, did you already quit?
What's up, guys? What's up?
So
What's up?
we're trying to convince the new guy not to leave.
Right, and we were saying, hey, it's time to go to a commercial, but you were asleep at the switch.
That was totally on me. I was actually training.
We
training him
still
on
love
something.
you.
You were training him on how to go to a commercial?
Yeah, I did a great job. Can't you tell?
Yeah.
Yeah, great. Yeah, absolutely.
All right, you guys still want a commercial?
Do we still want a
Please.
commercial now?
Yes,
Yeah, I guess we
please.
might as well.
Do it.
All right.
Thank you, man.
We'll be back to the Larry Steinhouse show after this.
This is Larry Steinhouse with Investor Schooling. Do you know when the
funny.
best
You're
time
clear.
to buy investment properties
Thank
is?
you.
It's now. It's always now.
That was totally on me.
That was funny.
That was funny, Glenn. The way it worked was
And sign
funny.
up for a
We still like
complimentary
you.
class this Thursday night.
Thank
and
you.
Learn how to buy investment properties.
Not
and make
Justin.
money
Not Justin
every
at all.
time. That's right. That's what we teach. We teach how to buy investment properties and make money every time. Go to investorschooling.com and RSVP right now. Take a class this Thursday night at 7 o'clock. That's investorschooling.com. This is Larry Steinhouse with Investor Schooling. Are you ready for retirement? Have you prepared everything you need?
Guys, I'm going to have a
Investor
caller
Schooling
for you in a
will
moment.
teach
Just
you
getting the
ways to
info,
better
okay? Hang on one
Yeah,
second.
sure.
Okay.
I'm sure her name is
Stock
Heather.
market.
But you need to learn how to do it right, and that's what we teach.
You're right.
At Investor Schooling, we sell nothing but education. Come to Investor If you were Schooling listening and to the learn show, how to you'd know have why. Retirement. Go to investorschooling.com and RSVP right now for this Thursday's class at 7 o'clock. Go to investorschooling.com. That's investorschooling.com.
It is indeed Heather in Miami.
All right, hold on. We'll get there. We'll get to her in a
Miami.
minute. This is Larry Steinhouse with Investor Schooling. Are you tired of hearing about the recession that's coming? Are you prepared for it? Well, listen, at investorschooling.com, we're going to teach you ways to prepare for the recession that you didn't even know existed. We're going to teach you strategies on how to use real estate. We're going to teach you strategies how to use the stock
All
market
right,
properly.
we will be coming
That's
back
right,
in
you can even
45
make money in
seconds.
the
Does that
stock
work
market
for
when
you?
the stock
Or do
market-
you
Sure.
want a little more
Now,
time?
Hey, no, go it's to fine. Yeah, come back whenever. investorschooling.com That's and fine. register for a
All
free
right,
class
when you
this
come back,
Thursday
you'll
night,
have Heather in
and you will
Miami if
learn
you
all
want to
right,
take
of
it.
these Yep. techniques. Go to investorschooling.com right now. RSVP for this Thursday. We'll see you there. This is Larry Steinhouse with Investor Schooling. Don't go through life ignorant about how to become a millionaire. Learn how to invest in real estate, the stock market, precious metals, and learn from an expert. why don't you show At Justin Investor how to put it Schooling, on the screen
Mm.
for me? We teach these things and more. We only provide education, and we will teach you how
Well,
to
he's gotta
leverage
get your
real
messenger.
estate,
He's gotta
how to
be
leverage the
connected
stock
to you through
market,
Facebook
and how to
and
leverage
stuff.
precious metals to make more money than you've ever made before.
We'll hook
Go to
him up.
investorschooling.com.
We'll hook him up.
All right. Take a complimentary class this Thursday. We will see you there. Investorschooling.com. That's investorschooling.com.
All right, we're coming back.
All right.
This program is paid for by Investor Schooling.
All right, everybody. Welcome back to the Larry Steinhouse Show. I'm here with my co-host, Dr. Deb Anderson and
Omri.
Morad, known as the Immigrant. And we were talking before about trusts with Ed. And then, of course, Heather kept talking to us on Facebook. We thought it'd be a good idea for her to call in. So what's going on, Heather?
Hi, Larry. So I'm very interested in the whole trust
Great.
concept and how to set it up. And I heard your response about the irrevocable trust. Another one of the questions I have, you said that you have all of your real estate in a trust, and businesses in a trust, and that your LLC is the beneficiary
Correct.
of the trust. Did I hear that?
Correct. But I actually
Okay.
have each one of
So
my
the
properties. Each one of my properties is an individual trust. So 123 Main Street is an 123 Main Street
Okay.
Trust. 456 Main Street is an 456 Main Street Trust. And the beneficiary of all those trusts is inside my LLC. Or is the LLC.
Is the LLC. Okay. So then you mentioned that you something happens to you, God forbid, then your son would pay the mortgages. So what would he use to pay the mortgages?
He'd use the rent. Is that your radio that's in the background?
I don't have it on.
No, I think-
I hear music.
I hear music too.
Maybe it's Glenn sleeping at the switch again. Oh, it was Glenn sleeping at the switch.
Yeah, that
again.
was me.
Let me-
Wow. Hey, Justin, you better take over soon. Glenn doesn't know what he's doing anymore. So
I'm going to let Justin do the rest of the show.
So how the same way the mortgage is getting paid now, they'd be getting paid from the rents. So I own dozens and dozens and dozens of properties, and they get paid by rent from the tenants. So the tenants would still deposit the money into the accounts, and the mortgage would be paid.
No, okay, all right. So you don't then have life insurance that would cover the rent if something happened to you.
So there's a bunch of pieces here.
Yeah.
All right, the first piece is, what do I need life insurance to cover my rents for when my tenants are paying my rents, right?
Right. Yeah.
Right. So,
I agree. I was just thinking that if something happens and there's a shortfall, what would he do there? I'm thinking about it. How I would set things up, but I'm getting a lot of information from this.
all right. So first of all, do you have multiple properties?
Not yet.
Okay. Do you have a property that you own? Anything? Your own house?
Oh yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So now you live there. You're paying mortgage, right? And if anything happens to you, are you married?
No.
Okay. So if anything happens to you, you probably want that property to go to somebody. Maybe it's a child, maybe it's a friend, or maybe it's a niece, nephew, whatever, right? Whoever you want that property to go to. So you would write a will for that. That's very simple. You could do that very simply. Now, if you want to, you can move the property into a trust, and you can make the beneficiary of the trust whoever that person is. That's one way to do it. Just don't let them know ahead of time, because they could actually fire you as the trustee and take your property away from you if you do that incorrectly. So you need to know how to do that properly. Or you can make you can create an LLC and you can put it in there too. But this is your primary residence. So as I was saying to Ed before, it's not as important to do your primary residence in a trust. It helps, but it's not as important. It's really a matter of leaving this property to somebody else. If there's any equity, I assume is there any equity in it?
Yes, and it's not the property I live in, though I own that as well. It's another property, and it's
Is it a rental property?
Mm-hmm. It's a commercial property.
Okay.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Okay, so that property, right? So that property, do you own that in your name, or you own that in LLC?
It's in a corporation.
Okay, great.
Not an
Now,
LLC, but
this corporation is you only, or there's other people in it?
others. Yeah,
Okay,
family.
great. So it's a partnership. That's great. Okay, so it's a partnership. So that's fine. That what you did there is fine. The only thing I warn people is, if you buy another property, even if you buy another property with the same group of people, make sure you form another LLC, a new LLC. That's the only thing. The only reason I keep everything in separate trusts is because it isolates the properties from each other. So it's the same thing in your situation. So you have this commercial property with a bunch of people you know, or maybe you don't know, because maybe they're just investors, and you have this property. You own a piece of it. Now, if you go to own another property and you buy another property, you put it in the same LLC. Now, all of a sudden, one of those properties has an issue. Somebody trips and falls. Somebody forgot to pay the insurance.
Right.
Now, both properties are at risk. If they're owned by two different LLCs, then the properties aren't at risk. It's the same thing with the trust. The only reason I use trusts instead of LLCs is simply because it's cheaper to set up a trust than it is to set up an LLC. I could set up a trust in 5 minutes, and it costs me nothing.
And it's also easy to maintain them because you don't need to file a separate tax return for each trust.
You don't have to, right.
That was going to be my next question.
Sure.
What kind of tax return do you file? Yeah.
So so the corporation, my corporation files a tax return. The LLC that all the trusts are the beneficiary of files a tax return, even though it doesn't own the properties. It's just the beneficiary of the properties. It's kind of like I don't know if you want to call it. It's not necessarily a loophole. It's more like kind of understanding how the law is written and using it.
It's not a loophole, no.
Now, just let me just make sure you understand too. I'm not paying less taxes because I'm doing that. I'm just, I'm still paying the same amount of required taxes, but all the properties are protected, and that's the most important thing. All the properties are protected, and the LLC is the beneficiary, and I could change the LLC, the membership of the LLC. I could sell shares. I could buy shares. Let's say let's say somebody else wants to become a partner in the LLC. I could sell shares to the LLC, and they become partners of the properties. You know what I mean? There's a lot of things I can do without moving these properties around, without having to do partitions, without anything like I don't know. I can think of a couple of things where there might be issues with lawsuits. I told you before, I only own 10% of my LLC. The reason I only own 10% of my LLC because out of my family, I'm the most likely to get in trouble. And when I say get in trouble, I don't mean like, do something stupid and illegal. I'm talking about, look, something can happen. Maybe I get into a bad deal accidentally. I didn't do it on purpose, but I get into a bad deal and now I'm being sued, right? So I'm getting sued, and the most they can get is 10% of my LLC. You get it?
I get it. All right, that's cool. But you still control it all. I
control everything, absolutely, always. Right. I'm in control until I die, and when I die, my wife is in control. And the cool part about that is nothing changes. The only thing she notices is that I didn't come home that night.
I think she might notice one or two other things in that.
And the dog notices that I didn't come home that night. Actually, the dog probably take about a week or two before the dog realizes that I'm not coming back. But that's it,
What?
Well, dogs don't realize somebody's dead yet. They take a little while.
Okay.
They keep looking at the door for me, but eventually he's gonna stop looking at the door for me.
Okay.
You like that?
No, keep going.
You
Let's
want me to
move
keep
on.
going?
No, I'm saying let's move. Let's
move on. All
let's
right.
move on. That's what I'm trying to say.
Did I get all your questions answered, Heather?
That's awesome.
So you know what you should do?
So as the managing,
You should go to investorschooling.com and you should sign up for the online class. So you'll see at the bottom when you hit the RSVP button, at the bottom of the thing it says you're not in this area. Sign up for our online class, and then we'll teach you more of this.
I love it. So I'm there now, so I'm going to sign up.
Awesome.
Okay.
We'll be very happy to see you.
Yeah, we're looking forward to seeing you in class. Let us know when you're on. Remind us who you were, because it'll be interesting. I'm telling you, this is like just a little bit. You just scratch the surface of the stuff we teach.
Yeah.
All right, Heather. Thanks so much for calling.
Right.
We really appreciate it. Thanks for watching and calling and all that cool stuff.
Thank you for answering my questions. Take care.
Of course.
You
Bye-bye.
got it. All right. So we have Mark online. He has the question. He goes, did I hear correct that Harris wants to tax unrealized capital gains? Yes, Biden talked about it and Harris talks about it. Look, it's just so simple. Tax the rich, because the rich are all your problems are cost of the rich. I mean, it's amazing to me. So now the middle class once again will be screwed if that happens, because the middle class is the one who doesn't understand capital gains and how to hide capital gains. And when I say hide capital gains, you want to know the greatest way to never ever pay capital gains? Come on, guess.
Take a loan.
No, never sell anything is the answer.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Never sell anything, right? So if you have a property and you buy a property for $100,000 and now it's worth $10 million, never sell it.
Yeah, don't sell it.
Borrow $9 million out of it and you get that money for free, tax free, and then just die with the property. Who cares? And if you die with the property, one of two things happens: either you leave the tax problem to the kids, to your beneficiaries, or you leave the tax problem to the state and let them repossess it. And they can repossess it, and they can get maybe $1 million of the difference if you already took $9 million out, and nothing's going to happen. So the best way to avoid capital gains is never sell anything. So now what they're trying to do is they're trying to say, well, if you're never going to sell anything, we want the unrealized capital gains. Well, how could you measure unrealized capital gains? On what scale? Can they do it? They can't do it.
They do like an average of when you will sell it. They try to make the average person is.
And then what happens? What happens this year if it's worth? If I buy a property that I bought for $100,000, this year it's worth $200,000, and next year it's worth $150,000. Do I do the unrealized capital gains of $200,000, and next year I get the taxes I paid on the $50,000 back? I mean, forget it. It'll never happen, Mark. That's one of those things where that's just talking points. We're going to make the rich pay. By the way, anybody want to know the only president in the last 50 years that taxed the rich? You want to know who that was?
No, who?
You know? Glenn, you know?
Don't say.
Glenn, do you know the only president that taxed the rich?
The only president
in
who
the last
taxed
50
the
years.
rich, in 50 years.
In the last 50 years.
So I'm going to say Reagan.
Nope.
I'm afraid you will say Obama.
Nope.
I was thinking it was going to be somebody who I wouldn't expect.
It was definitely somebody you wouldn't expect.
Somebody I wouldn't expect. I don't know. Clinton?
Nope.
I give up.
How about Trump?
Oh.
What did he do?
Did you know that Trump is the only president that had an unfair tax on the rich? Now, I don't care. It doesn't matter. Unfair, fair doesn't matter. But he had a tax that was placed specifically for the rich. So there's something called they abbreviate. It's called the SALT tax. It's a state and local tax exemption. So if you own a house, and let's say it's a $1 million house in New Jersey, because New Jersey has the highest taxes, and the $1 million house in New Jersey, you pay $25,000 a year in state taxes. Right? That's the scenario. It used to be that you could write the entire $25,000 off on your federal tax return. Nice deduction, right?
Yeah.
Well, guess what Trump did? Trump limited it to $10,000. So if your state and local taxes are over $10,000, you can't pay tax. You can't deduct anything over $10,000.
But it's progressive, no? You do exempt the 10 grand, and then the 15 left, you need to pay for.
Right.
Correct?
Right.
The 10 you can take for yourself. The 10 limit you can still exempt.
You can write off $10,000.
That's it.
Right. But if you're paying $25,000, you don't get the write-off of the other $15,000. Now, this is substantial for people who are buying $1 million and $2 million houses. Would you say that those people are rich?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Would you say that somebody who pays $3,000 to $4,000 a year in taxes, state and local government taxes, is not rich?
Of course.
Yes. So he's the only president that taxed the rich based on being rich. Right? And guess who reversed it?
Biden.
He's working on it.
So Biden, the first thing that Biden did when he went into the office is pretty much reverse anything that Trump did.
That Trump did, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because why do you think Trump enacted that? Why do you think he did that?
Well,
just the goodness of his heart, or was there some kind of political?
No.
I honestly don't know. But I found it fascinating that that the Democrats tax the rich, tax the rich, tax the rich, and Trump actually taxes the rich. And here you go. They're all complaining that we should tax the rich when he's the only president that actually taxed the rich. It's amazing to me. Absolutely amazing.
That's fake news, Larry. That's fake news.
No.
Disinformation.
No. This is I know what you're saying, but no. The SALT tax deduction is real. It's real. It's absolutely real. And it fascinates me that nobody knows it, nobody cares. And the Democrats, you want to know what the Democrats wanted it reversed? You want to know why they wanted it reversed? It's unfair to us if we own $1 million house and we can't write off the whole $25,000. I swear that was the argument. Now I don't know if it's been reversed, but Biden, one of the things that Biden promised is he was going to reverse it.
Okay.
Isn't that fascinating?
Every time a Democrat government being built, we saw that before. Everybody is afraid, and they're selling their properties.
Oh, that's great too. I love that too.
All
We're going to get to that for a
the
second.
time.
But I'm really disappointed that Debbie's not saying anything.
Well, because Debbie's not interested in this conversation.
You're not interested in taxes.
I was just telling Justin that. I said, did you notice how Dr. Deb just went real quiet?
Hey, no, really. It's like, come on, Deb.
No, I just, I'm not incredibly interested. I'm listening to you. Yes, I'm listening to you.
Right.
Okay, but, this show is, not about politics.
It's
so we
boring.
When you guys go so into this stuff, it's like
You want it to be about politics?
No,
you
I
don't like the politics?
No, I'm not interested. I don't. I'm sorry. I just,
I've
it's
seen
not
some
who I am.
politics on your feed. I've seen some politics on your feed.
You know what it is? Some of the stuff
bit.
some of the stuff comes across my feed, and it really gets under my skin. So then I post it, and then guys I went to high school with are like, "Well, so and so did it," and it's funny how I get such nasty reactions so quick. It just makes me laugh. But I'm not really interested in a lot of this stuff. I'm just
Okay.
not. Yeah, I'm just not. Like there was a whole thing. Did you see the thing on Michelle Obama? How she's talking about hard work, but she hasn't worked in 20 years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then one of the girls I went to high school with, well, she did this and she did this and she did that. And I'm like, okay, whatever. Knock yourself out. I don't care. You know what I mean? And then there was a whole thing about how Kamala said something about how 18 and 24-year-olds are stupid. That really got under my skin. I actually showed it to my kid because my kid's in that age range.
What did she say?
She said that 18 and 24-year-olds are stupid. They're dumb. They're so dumb that we need to put them in dormitories. And my daughter, she's not interested in politics either. And I said, I don't care.
When did she say that?
It's on my. I don't know.
It's one of her amazing famous quotes.
Yeah. So
yes, if you want to know if it's cold outside, go outside and check.
anyway, so I showed it to my daughter's not interested in politics either. I said, listen, I don't care if you vote. I don't care who you vote for, but you have to vote. I'm like, one, as a woman, and two, you have to vote, because you have that right. But I'm like, I don't care who you vote for, but I want you to see this. This is who you're voting for if this is who you're voting for. You know what I mean? She's calling you an idiot and she's calling you stupid just because you're in that age
too young,
range.
yeah.
Yeah, because you're young and stupid. You're an idiot. But what I thought was interesting was that the backlash I got from that was, this was taken out of context, yada, yada, yada. And I'm like, you know what? I said, if Trump said the same thing, you would have no problem posting this garbage. So I'm like, don't even talk to me about it. I don't care. So,
Because you're right.
I'm totally right. So, but like everything else, I'm just, if I need help, I go to you or I go to whoever who knows.
But you didn't find it fascinating that Trump was the only one who taxed the rich?
No, I think it's interesting. I mean,
it's absolutely fascinating.
Yeah, I just think it's interesting that Biden had an agenda of just undoing everything Trump did. Didn't matter what Trump did, he just wanted to undo it. So, and it's the same reason Kamala, she's riding on I'm black and I'm Indian or half Indian and I'm a woman.
Are we allowed to talk about that?
So we are.
What?
That's how she's going to win.
Ding dong?
No,
the fact that's what ding dong anytime
that's
you want.
Everybody else is like, oh well, she's black and she's a woman. Just like Obama got he became president because he was a black man, not because he was a man and qualified. It's because he was black.
So excuse me, but she's not black.
Ding dong.
Oh my God.
Well, she's black. She rode in on being Indian, and now she's riding on being black. So she can't figure out what she is. But she's a woman. So me as a woman, I don't give a damn if she's president or not. But she's clearly not qualified. So I'm not going to vote for her just because she's a woman.
Not qualified.
So
she's clearly not qualified. It's
right, but
really scary.
But that's my frustration. Maybe that's why I don't like politics, because it's so corrupt and one-sided. That's why I get so frustrated with it, because she's riding on I'm a black woman, and I really don't care if she's a black woman. As a woman, I don't care if she's a woman becoming president. I don't give a damn.
Yeah, I don't care about a woman becoming president either.
No, I
just want somebody qualified.
I just want somebody qualified, and she's clearly not qualified.
Please replace her with Hillary Clinton, because if there's any chance somebody's going to win that's a Democrat woman, I'd rather it be Hillary Clinton, because at least Hillary Clinton will have some concept of what to say to Iran when Iran bombs Israel, where Kamala Ding Dong would go, dude, please don't do that to them. I mean, she's an idiot.
I don't know. So that's what I mean. I don't. But I'll be the first to say that, I am not up on all the politics, and there's a lot of information I don't know, so I don't want to talk out of turn. So some things I know and some things I don't.
You just did very well, by the way.
Thank you. But no,
Didn't you do very well, Glenn?
Yes, you did.
I get passionate about the things that really irritate me. So, and that clearly really irritates me. And the fact that
Glenn must be having a big conversation with Justin.
He's teaching a new person.
There must be like tons of callers, but he's not answering the phone either because he's so busy.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. What?
I just called and you didn't answer me.
I can understand. I mean, I can understand if Justin was a woman and you were like, oh, wait a minute. But this is, I forgot.
Justin does identify as a woman.
This is 2024, so he might be a woman, and he might not even know it yet.
Justin, are you a woman and you don't know it?
I am 100% certain that I am, in fact, a man.
Okay, good.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
He's very certain that he's a man.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
Can we talk about that? Because
but were you ever a woman?
Never at one point in my life was I a woman, no.
All right, good.
Listen.
This guy's very alpha.
Yeah, I can tell, man.
I want to put something on the table, okay? First of all, I want to say the phone number again.
Just don't.
Which is 855.
Just don't physically put anything on the table.
Stop.
It's my mind. Right? It's
That's where he's going.
It's my mind.
Totally
it's my mind. I know, exactly. It's my mind.
Well, I could put something on the table too.
You're welcome to call us and help us in this
horrible
horrible situation. This is 855-939-1137. Save me for those people.
This is remember how we have that guy. Well, remember when we were outside of Boston and the mother called and she said her son was incarcerated and he likes me better. This is that moment where we should have it on screen. Where
so it was important to you right now to say that people in prison like you.
Well, he only likes because I'm a woman and you guys are men. So you figure he probably hasn't seen a woman in 20 years.
I'm very concerned that that you're talking about women in prison. I mean, people in prison liking you.
So listen again. The number is 855-939-1137. every person that calls, and let's face it, most of the callers that we have are Republicans. I want to hear from them. And be honest, and you can make a fake name. I don't care. Say if you have a problem with gay or lesbian couples.
Okay, hold on.
Because I'm
okay.
hearing too much voices around recently that the Republican want to make all gay and lesbian couples illegal. Is it true?
No.
I know it's not true.
I was going to say, I haven't heard anything like that at all.
It's not even close to. But, remember the first half of our show is ending in about a minute and a half.
I know.
So if you wanted to bring up a topic, you could bring it in the second half. But I'm not so sure I want to bring that topic up anyway, because what does it have to do with finances?
Yeah, I know.
At least
you just talked about politics, so again.
No, but you got to understand, the salt tax issue is finances. So I'm okay with it. I mean, look, we go off on tangents all the time anyway. I have no problem with it. But to go there, it doesn't even make any sense. It's like
I'm referring to what Debbie just said about future presidents saying that a certain age is stupid. And again, it's like we want you to believe something that it's completely not true.
Okay, let's do something. We got a minute and a half on this side.
Do it.
So why don't we talk about something that has to do with money?
What do you want to talk about?
So I don't know. You tell me.
We can talk about what's going on in the housing market and make me cry. So as a landlord, as landlords, we actually don't care. And if we want to talk about that, I know we have 1 minute and a half, and we can go back to that after the commercial break.
You know what I'll do? I'm going to do this. I'm going to use the last minute and a half because Kimmy keeps asking this question. She wants to ask me about the RFK announcement. And she said, about RFK.
I have no idea what it is.
RFK Jr. Junior. Is it Junior? No, RFK. He actually said
that he supports Trump.
He said that he's supporting Trump. He's dropping out of race supporting Trump, right?
Yeah.
So the most amazing thing about that is the fact that he's talking about the Democrat Party being evil now. That's the most amazing thing about it. So if you actually watch it and you watch his speech and he talks about how
from
evil,
Chicago, right?
Yeah, how evil it was. No, not from Chicago. How evil the Democrat Party is, and it's the truth. They become evil, and they're basically just brainwashing everybody. So, and Kimmy's wondering what kind of deal was made. I'm sure that he's going to do something in Trump. I know the people that RFK hangs around with. I know the people that Trump hangs around with, and probably something. Anyway. Listen, we appreciate you guys who have been listening to the Larry Steinhouse Show. We are live from Investor Schooling headquarters. If you want to take a class and get into us and learn about all of us and learn about the cool things we can teach you about finances or meet us, you can come this Thursday night to Investor Schooling right here in Bucks County. Just go to investorschooling.com. That's investorschooling.com, and you can take a complimentary class this Thursday. And we will see you on the other side.
This program is paid for by Investor Schooling. All opinions are
You are clear.
So you didn't want to talk about politics, but
well, we have a minute and a half. I figured I'd answer the question.
Giving blood is easy.
So hang on, guys, on Facebook and LinkedIn and Twitter. Just hang on. We got a whole hour to go. It's just that we have to break the show up into two separate hour segments. So if you're watching online, just hang on there.
So I had this discussion yesterday. You know exactly with who. And when the topic came up, that Republicans want to make gay and lesbian couples outside of the law.
Baloney.
It's where?
So baloney.
Where?
Yeah.
Where are those states that being a gay couple is against the law?
Yeah.
What state?
Yeah.
Where? Texas? Alabama? Tell me where. What state
Nowhere.
it's illegal?
Nowhere.
What they owe. This is not
Nowhere.
bankruptcy or a
Okay.
debt consolidation loan.
It's all
This
BS.
is a relief
Don't listen to her.
program that credit card companies.
No,
would
I'm not.
rather you
Listen, it's
know
not
about.
not listen to her.
It
It's
ends your debt
important.
nightmare
We need to
and
talk about
saves
those
you
stuff.
But
It's
the
like
point is how
Consumers
brainwashed
owing
the
at
Democrats
least
are. It's easy to hear
$10,000
that.
But that's the
personal
thing. You are
loans
scaring
can now take
people
advantage of this
by
debt
saying
relief
those
as the
things.
cost of living
She talked about her
skyrocks.
child.
Debt relief
When her
advocates
child will
establish
hear
a
about
relief
something like
hotline
that,
for you to
I understand
call
why
to
she
learn
won't
what debt
why she won't
protection
vote
you may
Republican.
qualify for. So don't
And
wait.
is it true?
For this free
Why
information, call the
why
Relief
this
Hotline.
party is not
Democrat, I'm voting.
standing?
You know what?
Yeah.
I'm going to do this for you guys who are online. I'm going to kill the feed so you can listen to Omri rant.
Come on. Now I don't want to.
No, you don't want to rant now?
No.
Which means pool day.
Well, I want to make sure they can hear you because they're listening to all the noise in the background from the feed.
What
You want to
noise?
keep ranting or no? No. The noise that we're hearing in our headphones right now,
Yeah.
they can hear that too.
Ah, okay.
I could kill the feed if you want to. Yeah, but I
I'm
can't. But I can't kill Glenn. What's up, Glenn?
Directly to your phone. Listen to
All right, Justin's going to get you into the top of the show, okay?
Justin's gonna do it.
The top
Yes,
of the
he
show.
is.
CY.
Oh my goodness.
And he won't play any weird music on you like I
That's why you did that, to make him be better.
Went to 202?
Food, great drink, and we're going to be
You're coming on at 202.
Okay, cool.
Bullies legend Joe Watson, the great Thundermouth, the great defensive man who scored the final goal to sink the Russians. Join us. You can't miss this one this Friday, noon until 3 at Mulligan's in
I don't know.
This program is paid for by Investor Schooling. All opinions or statements expressed on the program are solely those of Investor Schooling or their guests and do not reflect the opinions of WPHT or Odyssey.
WPHT, WPHT-HD, WOGL HD3 Philadelphia. From the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Always live on the free Odyssey app. The Larry Steinhouse Show.
All right, everybody. Good afternoon and welcome back to the Larry Steinhouse Show. We are here broadcasting live from Investor Schooling headquarters right here in Bucks County, Pennsylvania. I am Larry Steinhouse. I am the CEO of Investor Schooling, and I'm here to make financial education fun and accessible to everyone, including you. Hey, on this show, we discuss several ways of making more money. We concentrate on real estate investing, stock options trading, the stock market, and how to maximize your retirement fund. You could call us anytime during the show at
855-939-1137. That's 855-939-1137. That's 855-939.
Kimmy says we need 3 hours. You see that?
37.
And you could call with questions about money, finances, or anything on your mind. Even Deb's favorite topic, politics.
No,
Oh,
we're
Christ.
done with politics. We're done. I'm
We're
sorry.
also live. We're also live on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and YouTube. And please, of course, say hi, leave a comment. That way we know you're watching. I'm here with my awesome co-host, Dr. Deb Anderson, and of course, wow, wow, that's pretty good. I'm impressed, right? I'm here with my awesome host, Dr. Deb Anderson, right? Isn't she awesome?
She's awesome.
Is this where I do the
Wait.
woohoo now again?
So no,
What?
My sound effects didn't open up.
I was going to
Hold
say,
on.
I saw you hit something, and
Hold
I'm
on.
like
Oh, yeah.
waiting for it to
All right,
work.
one more time. I'm here with my awesome co-host, Dr. Deb Anderson.
Woohoo! Woo!
And of course, I'm also here with the famous Omri Morad,
Oh my God, I'm afraid what
the
noise.
immigrant.
I thought it would have been something else. I thought it would have been like a toilet flushing. or something.
Exactly. I bet it would be a fart. I bet it would be a fart. Yeah.
The Larry Steinhouse Show is brought to you by Investor Schooling. At Investor Schooling, we teach you things about money I'll bet you never knew. We focus on practical learning, and we will equip you with real-world skills in real estate investing, stock option trading, tax tips, and the secrets of financial freedom. Our headquarters are right here in Bucks County, but our online courses teach eager investors all over the country. RSVP for a free class this Thursday at investorschooling.com.
Please do.
What? Oh, please do. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. What?
What do you think
we
he
are
said?
serious. I want. Yes, we are like that all the time. But the classes are extremely serious. I'm
The
thinking about.
classes are serious? We have this much fun during class.
I do, but we are extremely educating, and people listening to us and said, no, I can't get anything.
So what's funny is every once in a while somebody comes to class, and it's funny, we call them the next day for feedback.
Yeah.
And it's probably like 3 times a year.
Yeah.
That somebody says, no, you guys are not serious. And this is a very serious topic, finances. We don't like the way you guys joke around and fool around, so we're not going to join. And I find it
And you don't
hysterical.
understand why kids walking away from this subject, and then they reach to at the age of 24 and they have no idea about financing at all.
No, I understand. But I mean,
That's
it happens maybe
insane.
2 or 3 times a year. Understand? And we have hundreds of people who come through, so it's not a very often thing. But I just find it fascinating that that is the style in which we teach. The style in which we use comedy. It's basically edutainment.
Yes.
We entertain you. I mean, even the other day we're talking. The stock option consultant comes out, right? And the stock option consultant is hysterical sometimes, right? Because the stock option consultant has his own show, his own whatever theme music, and we talk about the stock options, and I can't even find it. It's just it.
The what? The theme music?
Yeah, there it is.
We have people that are coming every Thursday just
to see the stock option
stock
consultant. I know
option
exactly.
consultant.
Right.
It's amazing. It's
Right.
amazing.
And it's me in a crazy hat, sultan hat. Like I look like the Johnny Carson show. What was his name?
Yeah.
I can't remember what thing he did, whatever that skit was, and and I
So
put
we're
on
younger than you.
and I put on a red jacket. Yeah, I know, but the people listening aren't.
I remember Johnny Carson, but I don't remember watching him.
Karnak, the great Karnak.
Oh, I don't know.
Right, so it's like a hat like that, except Johnny Carson's was so much better. I want one of those. But I put the hat on and I go out and I predict stocks.
So, to the younger listeners we have, it's just fun. Leave the comparison to what old show you just said. It's just fun, and you should be in the room.
It's fun, and you learn things.
Exactly.
Right.
You should come and be in the room because it's so fun. It's so great. Actually, this Thursday, because I sit in the back of the room because I'm on the equipment. I'm on the computer.
Are you on the? I was going to say, are you really on the equipment?
Yes, I am. Now,
sometimes.
Can I finish?
Sometimes.
Thank you. The room was so full.
Yeah.
I was pretty sure somebody would push me out.
Yeah, the room was very full. It was
Oh my
great.
God,
Yeah,
the room was so full. We need to
But
think
there's
about.
still comfortable seats for everybody.
Yes, of course there is.
We always have a seat for you. We'll leave the light on for you.
Leave the light on for you.
It used to be a commercial for some motel company.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's always room for you. Don't worry. Just RSVP at investorschooling.com, and you're going to learn so many things. It's just amazing. Sometimes like the topics go into somewhere else, and we learn new things. Right? What did we learn on Thursday? We learned about how the daily moves of the stock market.
Yeah.
How there are certain times during the day that the stock market changes.
Mm-hmm.
Like 10:30 is the big one. I call it the coffee break.
Yeah.
They come in. The traders come in. The money managers come in. The traders, they come in and they're off and running. And you can always see it between 9:45 and 10 o'clock is the highs of the day, in most cases.
Yeah.
Right. It's the highs of the day, and then goes to 10:30, and they do exactly what you're doing now, which is yawning.
Yeah.
And they have to go get some coffee, right?
Because clearly we're not keeping Omri entertained at all today right now.
Omri was up late last night because his kids and his wife weren't home. Like they went away.
Oh, so
he was all alone.
And
I want to
wait a minute.
Exactly. I want to laugh too. What are you saying?
What were you doing up late so all by yourself then?
Drinking margarita and watching old episodes of Friends.
Is that what you were doing all by yourself last night?
So I had a call an hour before I went to bed with a friend telling me I'm going to lose money. So I couldn't sleep very well.
That's funny.
So anyway, we talked about the 10:30, which is the first drop, and actually really good time to buy. And then comes lunchtime, and you can actually see it start to fade away because they all go out for the liquid lunch.
Mm-hmm.
And the traders go out for the liquid lunch, and by 2 o'clock, the alcohol starts to wear off, and the market takes to take off again. And then it starts to drop down again at around 3:30ish. The market comes back up, and you can almost see it almost every time. And it was funny because on Thursday, the market was down, but the market went down all day from the high to the low. It was lower at the end of the day, which is typical anyway. But you can actually see each bump in the market as the times that I showed, that I talked about. Mm-hmm. So these are things you learn. So if you actually come to investor school, you're going to learn this, right? You're going to learn the right time to buy stock options, the right time to buy stocks, what stocks to buy, what stock options to buy. The stock option consultant comes on, and you can ask the stock option consultant any question about any stock, and he should be able to answer.
He will be able to predict it.
Yeah, I predict it quite often.
Mm-hmm.
And I always say this, I'm always right, I'm just not always right on time. So sometimes I think it'll take 2 months, and maybe it takes 3 or 4 months. That's the only time that it's wrong.
So let's go back, if we can, to real estate, because I'm pretty sure we
Sure.
have listeners that are interested about,
Yeah, but why don't you get the phone number real quick?
the market. We are at 855-939-1137. That's 855-939-1137. So many people looking at the real estate market right now, and of course we see the price drops all around us.
Mm-hmm.
Many price drops all around us. And then we are hearing again and again that the interest will come down faster. For some reason, it's not coming down faster. And we're hearing the voices about recession. So I think many people in the real estate market, not typically us that mainly hold and rent, but we can talk about what happened to the rental market too, are afraid and asking what's going to happen.
Okay, so which one of those questions would you like to talk about first?
So first of all, let's talk about that. We do see that the market is dropping.
Yes.
It's dropping faster.
It's no longer a seller's market.
We're dropping faster
But
than what
it's
we
not
believed.
a buyer's market yet. It's like somewhere in between. The pendulum is halfway down.
You think it's because we don't have enough inventory yet?
The only reason it's not a buyer's market is
Yeah.
because we don't have enough inventory yet.
You
But
still
the
think we
inventory's
don't?
coming.
Okay, you think we still don't have enough inventory?
The inventory's coming, and I see it increasing. You know where I see it increasing? You know,
Okay.
you and I are going tomorrow. We're going to Ruskin, and
Yes.
we're going to buy a house.
Yes.
And we're going to buy some more mobile homes for our mobile home park.
Hopefully.
But I'm watching the homes in Ruskin. I'm watching the prices every day. Zillow is sending me emails about a price decrease, a price decrease, a price decrease. Decrease.
Wow.
So we see it now. So when it's not happening right now in Bucks County,
No.
I'm not getting all those emails about price decrease, price decrease, price decrease.
I used to,
but I
actually.
know it's coming.
Yeah.
And the reason I know it's coming because I'm seeing it in Ruskin. So now Ruskin, if you guys don't know where Ruskin, Florida is somewhere between Tampa and Sarasota, almost right in the middle. And Sarasota and Tampa, the prices on these two places are so high now that it's pushing people into the Ruskin market, which is where we are, which is where I'd like to be. I think it's a great place to invest. I think it'll be worth a lot of money in a few years. But more importantly, we're getting some incredible rents. So that's what I like about Ruskin right now is the rents are high and the prices of the houses are coming down, which is great. That's why I think it's a great place to invest. Plus, it's a really nice place.
Agreed.
And it's up and coming. Every time we go there, we see another shopping center being built. We see more houses being built. So we know that it's a really great place to be. But if you start to see pockets where prices are going down, that means it's going to happen everywhere. That's what we saw in 2008, 9, 10, when prices started coming down. And no matter what, they're just tumbled.
So if the price will keep coming down, okay, do you think people will have harder time to get mortgages?
So the only reason people will have a hard time getting mortgages is because they don't have jobs.
Okay.
And the economy makes it so that they are, a recession comes. The economy makes it difficult for them to afford houses, makes it difficult to get mortgages. And that's what will happen.
And correct me if I'm wrong, I think that what will happen, what we will see is that the interest maybe will come down, but the price will keep coming down. Because even if
right.
the interest...
That's when it becomes, guess what?
Because even
that's
if
when it becomes a buyer's market.
Exactly. If the interest...
coming.
If the interest will come down and the prices will keep coming down because people can't afford their houses. We're still in this point.
Here's what will happen. There'll be a quick bump. So there's rumor that they're going to drop interest rates a half a point. It's not going to happen. He's going to drop it a quarter point. But there's rumor that they'll drop a half a point.
When? Next month?
2 months, a month,
okay.
2 months, whatever. But here's the deal. If it happens, if they do drop it a half a point, doesn't matter. Quarter point, half a point, doesn't matter. What's going to happen immediately is there's going to be a bump in sales of houses, but it's going to be a really quick temporary bump. So it'll be a bump because I can get a mortgage for under 7%.
Yeah, I know.
And I'm going to mortgage under 7%. I better get it. I better get it before it goes back to 8. So everybody's going to be in a panic mode, and I'm going to get it. Now there's only a certain amount of inventory still, because even the people who we've talked about this before and why house prices why there's no inventory right now. The reason there's no inventory is 2 reasons, right? You have the people who bought a house, 4, 5, 6 years ago, right? Like Debbie, you bought your house when?
7 years ago.
Right, so 7 years ago, you paid a certain amount of money for your house, and your payment on that house was something that you could afford at that time. Now, I know you could afford a higher payment because you make a lot of money, but that's not the point. But most people can't afford to buy their own house right now.
According to his current market value.
Right, so if they were to buy the house that they're living in now for the price it would sell for now, they can't afford that house.
Correct.
So you got those people who can't move. They just can't move. Why would you want to go buy another house when you have to buy a house for less money?
Yes.
Right, that's one. The other one are the people who aren't paying their mortgages anymore because they have gotten to the point where I just can't pay my mortgage anymore. Inflation has gotten to the point where it's too much for me, and
they're selling.
I lost my job, whatever. What?
So they're selling.
They're not selling. They're not paying their mortgage because they know they could sit tight in their house for another year or 2 before the bank forecloses on them. So they're just sitting there. Those are the people. That's going to be the biggest bump in housing in about a year or 2 when all these banks are going to start pressuring the foreclosures, and the people, if they have any equity, they can say, well, maybe I should sell it before I lose my equity, or there's no equity in it, and there's going to be short sales, there's going to be banks selling properties, and we're going to start that cycle at the bottom again.
Don't say.
It's coming.
Don't say 2008.
No, it's going to be different than 2008, but similar.
It won't be it won't. I hope it won't be as bad.
No, it's going to be as bad. It's just going to be different reasons.
Not for me, we want to buy in cheap.
So here's the thing, right? The houses that we have, as long as the rent can pay the mortgage, who cares? I don't care how much my properties are worth.
So
I don't care if to me they're all worth zero, because all I care about is the cash flow. The cash flow is supposed to carry me for the rest of my life, right?
That's the last part of my question. Rentals.
Right.
Okay.
Do I think rent's going to go down?
I don't think rents will go down.
A little bit.
They're going down a little bit.
It'll go down a little bit.
They're
We're already seeing it.
Yeah, I
We're
know.
already seeing it by when we advertise, and we're not getting as many people responding.
I know, and yet there isn't enough places. So you get people that you put a house for $1,500, and they call you and they said, "Will you take 12?"
Right.
But because, like you said, there isn't enough inventory.
Right.
But we also see that the market is still for rental, at least where we are in PA, is still very strong.
So right now in Bucks County it's still strong. In Philadelphia it's starting to decline.
Okay.
Right. Ruskin, we're starting to see it.
Yeah, of course.
We're starting to see rent starting to decline a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So we know what's coming. Now it's all there. I mean, if Harris gets in, it'll be worse. If Trump gets in, it'll still happen. It'll just happen at a slower pace.
Okay.
So watch for it to happen. It's just going to happen. That's just the way life is. It goes in cycles. This cycle has been way too long. And in fact, what extended this cycle was the scamdemic.
Yeah.
We're going to bribe you to stay home. So here's money, here's low interest rate loans, here's forgiven loans if you own a business. So we're going to bribe you to destroy your life.
It's awful, yeah.
And they destroyed people's lives. And a lot of people don't even know they destroyed their lives yet because they don't even know. They got these SBA loans that people are going to default on.
I don't know if they destroyed people's life, but the thing is, that's how I see it. They put people too much in their comfort zone. Every day that we go to work, every day that we look for another property that I'm renovating right now a property, everything we do take us out of the comfort zone of sitting in front of the TV. They put those people in their comfort zone, and then for them to get back out of their comfort zone and start do something and start make money and start acting more responsibly with their life and don't count on the government, it took
and that's why this
very
pandemic was so
slow.
difficult to me, because my comfort zone is actively looking for ways to make money. So I struggled through that. And as a matter of fact, I kept this business going because Investor Schooling, I kept it going. I created a whole online system. We created a whole video, the video production studio that's back there.
Yeah.
That we do, the Zoom classes that we do are top notch with all the cameras that we have and the switching that we use. It's so much better than anything out there that's on Zoom, where it's not some guy sitting at his desk going, "Okay, you're going to learn some real estate now." We have graphs and pictures and we have interaction with the audience, interaction with the Zoom people, inside and outside. It's almost like you're there. But that's the stuff that I had to do to keep my mind going, and I didn't let it change. But I do know that the company suffered. The company suffered not necessarily because we had less people come to the door, which we did, but it suffered more because I had no data. Because we opened about a year or two before the scamdemic, maybe 3.
18,
and I
17.
I tried to compare data, like, every business should increase a certain amount every year, right?
Yeah.
The goal of every business should be to increase at least 20% a year. Well, all my numbers were skewed because the scamdemic, the first year of the scamdemic, our numbers went down because nobody showed up. Then the second year of the scamdemic, our numbers went up because everybody was looking for something to do. So I had no real numbers. So now we have real numbers, and we can compare whether our business is doing well or not. And and we're starting to make some headway, as you know.
Yeah.
And then we also have people starting to show up, and they're showing up full force like they did the other day. So these are the reasons why the economy is going to change. It's the reason why house pricing is going to go down. And this is the time where, I'm telling you right now, it's going into a buyer's market. It's not a buyer's market yet.
No,
and it's also not a seller's market anymore. But the sellers still think it's a seller's market. My house is worth $500,000. No, your house is worth $300,000. But 2 years ago, the guy next door to me that had a bigger house than mine sold his for $500,000. So mine must be worth $500,000. No, it's worth $300,000. And the house that you just bought, now you bought it, whatever reason you bought it. You bought it and you paid too much for it. But you paid too much for it because the seller still thought it was a seller's market. You thought that the market's going to keep going up and you can make money on it, and you paid too much for it. So what? So you bought dozens and dozens and dozens of houses. You made your first mistake. Congratulations. Who cares? Who cares, right? It's okay. You'll survive it. You know, maybe you lose if you sell it and you walk away from it and you lose 20 or 30 grand. Let me tell you something, Omri. You know how many times I've lost 20 or 30 grand on houses that I bought in the past, or 20 or 30 grand in the stock market in a day? Who cares? Just move on.
We need to tell people that if they will come and be in investor schooling, it won't happen to them.
It usually doesn't happen. So
I
you learn
am
from my
not
mistakes.
a good example
But people
here.
make mistakes.
I know.
Right?
I know.
You made that mistake because, why did you make that mistake? Because on Thursday you said, hey, I'm thinking about buying this property. Will you look into it for me? And I'm looking into it for you, deciding whether it's a good idea. And then on Friday you call me, hey, I bought the property. Well, wait a minute. You didn't even talk to me yet.
Yeah.
In fact, you even went to another real estate. But I'm a real estate agent. I could have made the commission on that for you.
I know.
At least gave it back to you or put it in my pocket or something.
I know.
Right? I can't legally give it back to you, but whatever. But the concept was,
I know.
You didn't even wait for me to tell you what I found out.
I know. So one of the things, so beside the fact that yes, we are listening to people, one of the things I think that is maybe stupid, when you are having a rental, when you're renting, and you're growing kids and a family and you're living in a rental, you always think about the point that maybe you won't be able to renew the lease. Maybe the owner will sell.
Let me go back for a second so people know what you're talking about. So Omri owns dozens and dozens and dozens of rental properties, and he doesn't own the house he lives in. Let me tell you how smart that is.
I know it's smart.
That is one of the most intelligent things ever, right? Because the place you live in, whether you own it or whether you rent it, is a liability. It's not an investment. So you're paying a really low rent where you are compared to a house that you can buy.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of you going, hey, I'm much smarter than you, you let all your relatives dictate to you and say, what's wrong with you? Don't you want to own your own house? And I'm like, you own dozens of houses.
I know.
And they own nothing or they own one. You say, well, I own dozens of houses. How many do you own? Well, I own the one I live in. I'm better than you. Well, you're not that bright.
Yeah.
So, not you, I mean them. They're
I
not
know.
that bright, right? So why don't you just stand up and say, hey, I'm smarter than you? So instead, you felt pressure to buy this house,
Mm-hmm.
and you, at the time, you're buying it for you so you can tell all your relatives, look, I bought a house for me and my wife. Meanwhile, it was the wrong house for you and your wife, completely the wrong house, which is the other reason I said don't buy it. It was completely the wrong house for you and your wife. It was not enough bedrooms, not enough bathrooms.
I was planning on extending it massively with the second floor.
You wanted to blow up the top and put the second floor.
Yeah.
Why would you do that when you could buy one already ready to go for probably less money than you could blow up the top for? So now here's something interesting. You got to see Deb's face.
I'm just listening, and this is gonna sound totally wrong. I'm just grateful that I'm not the only idiot in the room. You know what I mean?
We're all idiots.
Oh my
how many
God,
times-
Debbie!
No, I'm just saying because I had so many problems with Monroe, and it's starting to finally, hopefully, get on track. But I'm just glad because I got so much crap over that for the last 2 years, and I'm finally glad that the spotlight.
Somebody else made a mistake, right?
Yeah, the spotlight's
But
off me right now.
everybody makes mistakes.
We are
I'm telling
having-
you, I've made mistakes. I've made mistakes in properties. I've also made mistakes in the stock market. I had 1 year I lost $500,000 in the stock market 1 year because I did 3 plays that were outside my own rules. My own rules. The rules that I write, that I teach, I made 3 plays. I was like, you know what? I'm going to ignore my rules because I want to lose money. It's basically what I should have said to myself, right? And I lost $500,000 in the stock market. Now, it just so happened that I increased my net worth that year, $1.2 million, so it wasn't so bad. But the fact that I lost that money because I didn't follow my own rules is terrible, right? Now, I want you to give the phone number because right now people are listening and they're like, and they're either scared of investor schooling
Or they want to know
what happened, right?
how to avoid their mistakes, right?
So give the phone number.
So please call us at 855-939-1137. That's 855-939-1137. 855-939-1137. That's not a recording. 855-939-1137.
You need to record him.
I know he did.
855-939-1137. 855-939-1137. Please stop me. 855-939-1137.
That's it. You got to stop.
Okay, thank you.
You went over. All right, look, and here's the deal. We all make mistakes. That's the reality, right? We all make mistakes. People are going to make mistakes. And sometimes have all the facts and you still make mistakes. There are people out there that are going to vote for Harris.
Say the line from the disclaimer. If you don't do nothing...
If you do nothing, your results will be?
Nothing.
Right.
Exactly.
Right. So you need to try. Here's the thing that troubles me the most. You got somebody who's 55 years old, 60 years old, right? And they have $150,000 in an IRA, or there's some money, or in a bank account, I don't know, whatever. And that's all they have. Maybe they don't own a house, maybe they have $100,000 equity in it. I'm like, oh my God, I might lose my $150,000.
Why would they lose it?
So wrong thinking, right?
Why would they lose it?
Maybe they make a mistake. Come to investors and go, Larry's going to teach me stock options, and I know stock options are risky, so I might lose my $150,000. By the way, I wouldn't let you play the whole $150,000 anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
But let's just wait. So you got the guy out there. I might lose my $150,000. Let me tell you something. The best thing for that person to do is lose the $150,000 for two reasons. One is they may learn something, and they could put that skill of learning how to make that money back into use and make a lot more money than $150,000. And the other one is the $150,000 keeps them off social programs that they're going to have to go on anyway because they only have $150,000. How long is somebody going to live on $150,000?
1 year?
Yeah, well, okay, that's you and me. But let's talk about somebody who's, I don't know, maybe I don't want lower middle class.
2 years,
right?
No,
maybe three.
Maybe three.
Maybe
yeah.
three,
Maybe
right?
How are three with the current trends? Come on.
No, that's okay. Maybe we're okay. We're agreeing with you.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, but here's the problem. The problem is after that, what are you going to do? So you need to learn how to have skills to make money, right? You know that net worth is not as important as cash flow.
I agree.
Cash flow is the most important thing. People have pensions in some jobs that they have pensions, and their pensions are sometimes they're okay, 5, 6, 7, 8,000. That's fantastic, but most people don't have a pension. The best way to get a pension is to buy real estate and collect rent.
When they have, you said pension of what, 6, 7,000?
Most people don't have that, but I'm talking about they could.
People that worked all their life in the same place and the employee gave them match their 401k. That's what you're saying.
No, that's not a pension. That's a 401k, which is not the same thing. A pension is where they get after they leave their job, after a certain amount of years, they leave their job and they continue to get paid
by the job.
But it's a pension fund. But yeah, they can continue to get paid by the job.
The way I grew and where I'm coming from, the pension is a policy like every other policy. It's not by the job. The job pays. Yeah.
So it's most of the time it's an annuity policy inside the job.
Okay.
But the employer pays for it 100%.
Okay.
That's what a pension would be.
Mm-hmm.
But there are other things like 401ks and 403bs and those kind of things that people can save additional money in. But the problem is most of these people save the additional money, like again, $150,000, $200,000. They don't have a pension, and they expect this $150,000 to $200,000 to last them the rest of their life. It's impossible. It's just impossible. You got to start doing things now. You got to start taking risks now. In fact, the older you are, the more risks you should take with your money if you don't have any, because in the end, you're going to end up on Medicaid anyway. On welfare anyway. Not welfare. What am I thinking? Well, welfare. Whatever. You're going to end up on a welfare program anyway, even if you have $100,000 in the bank. So you might as well take the risk with the $100,000 and learn how to not be on welfare. And if you mess up, you're in the same place anyway.
So because everybody are obligated to be on a welfare, correct? After a certain age.
Not welfare.
No,
I think you're talking about Medicare.
Medicare.
Okay,
Which
Medicare.
is totally different. Welfare is something where Section 8 is welfare.
Okay.
Okay. I know. So the only reason Omri doesn't know this for you listening is, remember, Omri is from Israel, and he's only been here how many years?
6, 5?
Yeah, 5 or 6 years. So some of these terms he's not familiar with. These are terms that we grew up with. Yeah. We know what welfare is. We used to make fun of the guy down the street who was on welfare. Now, I don't mean that I mean that, I don't mean that to be
Mean?
To be mean. I'm
Yeah.
just talking about that when we're kids, you do that. Oh, I heard Johnny's parents are on welfare. That was kind of thing, and we figured out what it was. But Omri didn't have that.
So it sounds to me like there was an Obamacare before Obama.
So Obamacare, it's a whole other
It's
issue.
a bit different.
So Obamacare, I'm telling you over and over again, and most people don't realize this, but Obamacare is great for the small businessman.
I agree.
If you know how to use it, right? And everybody will say, Obamacare is the most horrible thing ever. It's terrible. It's terrible health
Why?
insurance.
I don't understand
'Cause
why.
They don't know. They don't read. They don't understand. They don't pay attention.
I think it's because they think that they are paying for somebody else's insurance.
That's right. That's probably why. And they're not. Taxpayer dollar is going to the subsidy, but the subsidy is great if you understand how the subsidy works. It's great.
And based on the fact that now more people are insured, the companies can lower the rates.
Well, what's happening? So here, just to go into, I know we're going to go to politics, which you love. Deb.
No, we
I
don't
know,
go
it's
to
my
politics. It's finance.
So here's the craziest thing. So the Democrats say the Republicans are going to destroy Obamacare. Guess who's destroying Obamacare?
Cool.
The Democrats.
How?
Because they're taking Obamacare away by putting it in the individual states.
Yeah, each state
So
has their own
inside Pennsylvania, we no longer have Obamacare. We have Penny,
penny. Yeah.
which is now right now. Penny is
exactly
on the
the
same
same.
rules. Right.
Yeah.
Right now, it's the same rules as Obamacare.
Yeah.
But it's going to change. Each state is going to have the authority to change the rules, and that's a problem because now that the rules are great for the small businessman, maybe the state changes the rules. And it's not so great for the small businessman anymore. Or maybe the state can't afford the subsidy anymore. And because they can't afford the subsidy anymore, they say, oh, sorry, we're going to make it go away. You have to go back to paying full price for your health insurance now. So it's terrible that, and this is the thing with Democrats, everything that they promise is the opposite of what they give. And everything that people who vote for Democrats for is exactly what the Republicans are going to give you. And it amazes me that over and over again we hear this dichotomy.
We got scared by the extreme. We got scared by the extreme. Every Democrat person I'm talking about, all they talk about is abortions, Project
So
2025.
I think we're getting ready to go to commercial now, Glenn. If you're around, we're getting ready to
That
go to
was
commercial.
rude. That was rude.
Glenn, if you're ready,
Hey.
it's about time.
Hey, you want to hear what the inside of a womb sounds like when there's an abortion going on?
Would you stop?
Don't go there.
All right, now we'll go to a commercial.
Now we're going to commercial, please.
This is Larry Steinhouse with Investor Schooling. Do you know when the best time to buy
you're clear.
investment properties is? It's
Thank you.
now. It's always now. You just need to learn how to buy them correctly. Go to investorschooling.com and sign up for a complimentary class this Thursday night and learn how to buy investment properties and make money every time. That's right. That's what we teach. We teach how to buy investment properties and make money every time.
You hear that? That's how a man goes to a break.
That's
how Justin goes to a break right there, baby. On that. He was on it.
This is Larry Steinhouse with Investor Schooling. Are you ready for retirement? Have you prepared everything you need? Well, in Investor Schooling, we will teach you ways to better prepare for your retirement using real estate and the stock market. But you need to learn how to do it right. And that's what we teach. At Investor Schooling, we sell nothing but education. Come to Investor Schooling and learn how to have a better retirement. Go to investorschooling.com and RSVP right now for this Thursday's class at 7 o'clock. Go to investorschooling.com. That's investorschooling.com. This is Larry Steinhouse with Investor Schooling. Are you tired of hearing about the recession that's coming? Are you prepared for it? Well, listen, at investorschooling.com, we're going to teach you ways to prepare for the recession that you didn't even know existed. We're going to teach you strategies on how to use real estate. We're going to teach you strategies how to use the stock market properly.
I got another
That's right,
30
you can
coming
make
up.
money
Do
in
you
the stock
want
market
a
when the
full
stock
minute or you
market
want
goes
30?
down. Hey, go to investorschooling.com and register for a free
Justin,
class this
taking
Thursday
charge.
night, and you will learn all of these techniques.
What'd
Go
you
to
guys say? I couldn't hear you.
investorschooling.com right
I
now.
said, look at you
RSVP
taking
for
charge.
This Thursday. We'll see you
I
there.
appreciate it.
Justin's This voice is is so much with nicer Investor than Glenn's, Schooling. isn't it? Don't go through life
I kinda
ignorant
like
about
Glenn.
how to become a millionaire. Learn how to invest in
partial
real
to
estate,
Glenn.
the stock market, precious metals, and learn from an expert. At Investor Schooling, we teach these things and more. We only provide education, and we will teach you how to leverage real estate, how
Coming
to leverage
back in
the stock
about
market,
10
and
seconds.
how to leverage precious metals to make more money than you've ever made before. Go to investorschooling.com and take a complimentary class this Thursday. We will see you there. Investorschooling.com. That's investorschooling.com.
This program is paid for by Investor Schooling.
All right, I'm digging this music. I like it better.
There you go.
All right. Welcome back to the Larry Steinhouse Show. I'm here with Dr. Deb, and I'm here with Omri, the immigrant. And we're talking about money. We're talking about the state of the market. We talked a little bit about politics because, politics kind of goes together with the economy.
It does.
And we want to make sure that you guys call us. So we're going to give you the phone number. Give us a call. I don't care what you want to talk about. You want to talk about Kamala Harris? Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Did I
No.
actually say the name? I said the name wrong.
No.
Kamalama Ding Dong. Or if you want to talk about that, you can. If you want to talk about...
Tampon Tim.
What?
Tampon Tim.
You can talk about Tampon Tim, too. You can talk about that as well. If you want to talk about the state of the market, if you want to talk about what's happening or any questions you have, it's fine, too. What is the phone number, Omri?
That's 855-939-1137. That's 855-939-1137. That's 855-939-1137.
Oh my goodness!
Do
All right.
you know it now? I mean, it looks like you're forgetting it.
No, I'm not. I'm just, I don't know. I'm trying to figure out how many times during the show we
You
need
have to say it 7 times.
7? Okay, so that's
He's too busy playing on
855.
his paper that you're not
I
paying
know.
attention to the
Yeah,
number. That's
no,
what
I
happens.
am. I'm just...
You get distracted so easy. So.
I know. Omri is the most ADD person I've ever met.
Yeah, I know. I am.
Next to you, yeah.
That's
Next
No,
to
yeah,
you.
no, I agree. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
extremely ADD, and
You're bad,
Omri is
yeah, you're
definitely
bad.
worse than I am.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
855-939-1137. 855-939-1137.
All right, enough. All right, so we're here. We're talking about that. Please give us a call. Let us know what you want us to talk about.
Please do.
All right, where are we going now? What do we want to go to? You want to talk about this? I don't know. You want to talk about this trip we're making this week?
We
To
can,
Florida?
yeah. I really hope we can find the mobile homes that we want. So if you heard us talk about this subject before, me and Larry own a mobile home park in Ruskin. This is a 12-unit mobile home park.
Right.
And we also own the homes. We own the homes and we own, beside one, but we own the homes and we own the park. So we have three more lots to put mobile homes on. And we are saying that we will do that since we bought the place.
Yeah, and we're having so much trouble finding them. That's the hard part. We're trying to find them. Now, we could buy brand new ones, but it's silly to buy brand new ones. The brand new ones are $150,000 to $200,000.
Well, yeah, how they
which is
became
insane.
so expensive.
I know, it's totally insane.
I don't know how.
I'd rather build a modular house for $200,000 than put a mobile home on there.
I agree. I don't understand that, but they are extremely expensive, and of course the regulation is the regulation, and you need to take care of their license and all those things.
Yeah.
So I'm really surprised they're that expensive because you guys don't know this, but so I moved out when I was 17, and by 18 I bought my first place, and I lived in a trailer for a couple of years.
You owned a trailer, or
I owned the trailer, but
Okay.
I had to pay lot rent.
Right. Okay.
But it was only like $38,000.
That would be expensive for then.
Yeah, but I mean,
But you're right. I mean, they're really cheap.
$38,000
We
new.
can't find
No,
them.
it was
No,
used.
not
It was used, but
No,
it
we're
was,
talking about $200,000 new.
No, I know, but still, because I mean, I didn't know at 18 that I could buy my own house. Like I didn't know I could do that, because I was working at a pharma company and I was making decent money, but I didn't know that I could buy a house back then. So I thought I'm like, let me buy a trailer and I live by myself and do my thing.
That's right. You
But
sell it for more
wait.
money?
Yeah, I did. Actually.
Isn't that great?
Yeah, I sold it for more money.
I'm confused.
Why?
$38,000 back then seems like a lot of money.
It was.
That's
He
what I
said,
just said.
He said I overpaid
Yeah.
for it. But I didn't know.
Okay.
I was 18 years old. I was 19 years old. I didn't know any better.
How much a house would cost back then?
So there was a house that
Probably under 100.
it was around 100. The house I was looking at was around 100, and I thought I couldn't afford it because I thought,
Okay.
I just didn't know any better. And like you, Omri, my parents were immigrants, so they didn't know anything about, and they never owned a house, so they didn't know anything about anything here in the U.S. So
I get it.
they couldn't help with any of that. So, and that house today is probably worth $450,000.
Isn't
Or
it
something,
amazing?
if
That's
not
why you
more.
never sell a house.
Well, no, I understand.
Every house
but-
I've ever sold is now
I
worth so much
regret
money
it.
that I wish I never sold it.
I know.
So I'm never selling any houses anymore.
Yeah, it's a
You
very
know-
good conclusion.
It's funny. I got every once in a while I get these text messages. You get them too, right? You get the letters in the mail. And they want
I
to
get
buy
the
your
letters,
they want to
yeah.
buy your property.
So many.
So I get the text message the other day. One of my properties, it's worth about $230,000, and they sent me a text message. Are you interested in selling 1 to 3 Main Street, whatever it was? And I wrote back. I said yes for $300,000.
And you told me they called you back.
And they called me back, and when they call me back, they go, okay, why do you want to sell it? I said, because if you give me $300,000, I'll take it. And the guy's like, well, what do you mean? I go, because it's not worth $300,000. So if you give me $300,000, I'll take it. He goes, I'll get back to you. I'll let you know. And of course, I never heard from him again.
Yeah.
But that's it. I mean, the only
You
time
never
I'm selling
heard? They
property-
didn't call
No,
again?
they didn't call.
Okay.
The only time I'm selling a property is if I can get ridiculous money for it over what it's worth.
I get a lot of calls from my one place in Philly, and I say, if you give me $185 for it, I'll take it. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? 'Cause
exactly.
It's not worth
But
that.
they don't.
right
They
now.
don't. They think they're. You're amateurs. Like so.
Yeah.
But whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, look, there's a lot of tired landlords out there. I advertise for tired landlords all the time. People who don't want to own their rental properties anymore, they buy their houses.
Yeah.
And I buy it, and we come to terms, and usually it's a great deal for both of us.
Where are they? I really want to talk to those people.
What?
Those real estate investors that don't want to deal with their real estate anymore.
There's a lot.
I
of them
really
out
hope they will come back.
There's a lot of them out there.
You know,
All right,
I have a whole bunch of letters next door that I have to send out, right?
All right, we got a really great question coming up.
What was? I
Let's
can't-
talk about Mike. What's going on,
what's the
Mike?
question? Leonard,
Yeah, I
shut
just
it
have a
off
quick
this morning.
question. I live in an apartment complex. I don't want to give the name, just for I don't know, security reasons. I just don't want to
Yeah,
get
fine,
involved.
sure,
But
sure.
the issue is, but the issue is this: yesterday, we got a notice in the building from the water company that we got a 30-day shut-off notice because evidently the landlord has not paid the water bill.
So how many units is
And
this?
you're up- I'd say, there's 3 buildings. I'd say probably 95 per building.
Oh, so
I
it's a
don't know.
really
I mean,
big,
I'm not
really
certain.
big building. Okay.
Yeah.
And you don't, and the water's not in your name, correct? The water's in the landlord's name.
No, they in fact they charge an extra fee on top of the rent for the utilities, which covers the water and the heat.
Is it a fixed fee or is it a fee that change every month?
No, it's a fixed fee.
Okay.
Yeah, which is the right way to do it.
That's fine.
But you're concerned that
And so-
that the water company's going to turn off the water in the building.
Well, we've gotten a notice. We got a notice from the water company saying that as of the end of September, if no payment is made, they will shut off the water.
Oh.
So wait, so I'm curious. So they put this notice on every single door?
Well, they put it outside, and then I guess somebody inside the
Okay.
building,
Oh,
they weren't able to get in because they didn't have the code, so they left it
Okay.
outside. But somebody brought it in, and I
Okay.
guess somebody took it to all the apartments.
So
and
did
they put it
anybody
on the
give it
door
to the
and said,
landlord?
"This is just to let you know."
Or the management company?
What's that?
Did anybody give it to the landlord or the management company?
No, because they're in a separate. I don't know. They're in a separate
Yeah, I mean,
apartment.
you
from
might
us.
have a phone number for the landlord or the management company. You might want to just let them know that you got the notice. That, there's no-
Well, I did. I did that.
Okay.
I called and I let them know. And
Yeah.
but they told me that the bill was paid, not to
Yeah,
worry
sure.
about it.
So here's
And-
what probably
and so
happened.
I called the water company, and they said the bill has not been paid.
Right. So all right. So whatever it is, obviously you can't get much more. So the question you have is, can they actually turn the water off? Right. And the answer is yes.
Well, yes, yeah.
The question is, will they do it? They got 95 people that they're going to turn water off to. So it may not happen, but what they're trying to do is it's a scare tactic to get landlord to pay the water, which, by the way, your landlord should be paying the water. I don't know what happened. I had this happen to me one time.
Well, they said they're 30 days delinquent, and they gave the amount of money that they owe.
30 days
They
is
also
nothing.
letter also said that if we want to, which we're not, that collectively, if either they have to pay it or collectively the residents could pay it.
That's hysterical.
That's something very, very weird. I've never heard about
No,
the
no,
water
so
company
They're just trying to
doing
bully
this
their
play.
landlord into
Yeah,
paying it,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
all. So they can. I mean, look, if you get a 10-day shut off notice, you might want to get worried. But I'm telling you, you're not going to get another notice. They're basically just bullying the landlord. They're using the tenants to bully the landlord. But I'm going to tell you something happened to me one time. It was really bizarre. I owned a property that had 2 separate water meters, and when I bought the property,
Right.
they turned one of the water meters into my name, and I didn't realize I had 2 separate water meters. So obviously, I kept
Right.
getting a bill. I kept paying it. I kept paying a bill. I kept paying it. I kept getting a bill. I kept paying it. But I wasn't paying the other side because I never got the bill. And all of a sudden, my tenant calls me up and says, the water's been shut off. I'm like, what? And I call up the water company and said, why'd you shut the water off? I'm like, you didn't pay the bill. I go, I paid it. Look, I paid on this day. 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 They go, no, that's that meter. That's not the other meter. I'm like, wait a minute. I never even got a bill. You guys never even told me there were
So
2 meters.
for who did you pay?
Right.
So-
Because if there are 2 meters and you did pay one, you paid the one that feeds
No,
what?
there's so half the building. I don't know. It was weird layout.
Wow.
And,
Okay.
and then I
Yeah,
said, look,
yeah.
I gave them a credit card over the phone. They turned the water back on instantly. But I'm like, they it's the kind of stuff. It's like, if they did their work, their paperwork properly, this could have never happened.
Yeah.
And they wanted to. It was really weird. They wanted to.
Yeah, and they gave an amount an amount of money the amount of money that they owe.
How much was
that
it?
They haven't paid. $2,500.
$2,500. Believe me, they're going to pay that bill. Don't even worry about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I'm
think
sure
it's
they
a
will.
misunderstanding between
Yeah.
the management company or the owner
Yeah,
and
it's
the utility company. It
Yeah.
doesn't seem.
They turned my water
Yeah.
off for less.
Right.
But it's an interesting
all right,
question.
Well, thank you.
Hey, Mike,
All right, well,
listen.
Thank you very much. Thank
Mike,
you.
you got to stop. You got to stop renting. You got to come to investor schooling and learn how to buy houses with no money.
Please do.
I'll try.
All
Thank
right,
you.
all right, you got it, man. All right, we got also Tom in Philly. What's going on, Tom?
Hey, Larry, an idea for your thing where you want to build a modular house or whatever?
Yeah.
Get a Connex box, a Sealand container. Cost about $15,000.
I recognize his
brand
voice.
spanking
Yeah, me too. He will say. I know exactly who's
Tommy
the
O.
guy. I know who it
Tommy O?
is. Yeah.
Tommy, yeah. So
You
Tommy.
got
By the way, Tommy's a student, and it was funny. I didn't realize it at first when I recognized his voice. I realized it. So first of all, Tommy, the problem with the containers. So Tommy's talking about building a container home, which is great, but I have no desire to build a container home.
I don't know if it's legal. I see them all the
legal.
time.
You have to get permits. You have to do everything. Just like any other home. You have to insulate it certain ways. You have to put drywall in certain ways. There's no reason you can't make a container home. But I have no desire to do that. That's a lot of work, and it's a lot of hassle, and things I just don't want to do. But it's a great idea, Tommy. Hey, by the way, Tommy, why don't you tell people about your experience with investor schooling?
You learn a lot. You learn a lot. You learn how to become your own bank and borrow from yourself, which is a beautiful thing.
I like the way you just you didn't even know what to say. You just said you learn a lot, which is great because that's such a perfect response. Actually, it really is. You do learn a lot. So your favorite thing is becoming your own bank, which we do teach. Excellent, man.
And it's easier lending money for real estate than buying real estate.
That's actually very true. If you have some money right out there and you want to lend it to a real estate investor and you do it the right way, not the wrong way, you do it the right way, not only can you not lose money, but you hope the person doesn't pay you back because if they don't pay you back, you actually make more money.
Mm-hmm.
Right, Tommy?
Yeah, you get the property.
Yeah,
It's
exactly. The
beautiful.
property's always worth more than what you lent. So it's really cool. All right, man. We appreciate the call. Thanks. Talk to you soon. All right. Where are we? We got another 10 minutes left. What do you want to talk about?
So we can go back. We started to talk and then the subject went. I don't know what will happen with the rentals. We see that the rentals are still going up. The prices are still going up.
Well, you got...
Not only
You
Section
want to
8.
talk about your Section 8 rental?
We can talk about Section 8.
Holy cow.
I got the table from Section 8 about the prices. Specifically right now it's in Norristown. And I was amazed. I was amazed to see the prices.
So you're getting... So one building you're getting $3,100 from Section 8.
Yeah.
Which I have to tell you, you couldn't get that $3,100 from a self-pay.
Prices are going up. I agree with you. I think you couldn't.
When you say prices are going up, prices of what are going up?
Rentals. They are still going up.
No, because I had to reduce my pricing.
I was going
in
to say, I
Philly.
don't think they're going up. But they're going up with Section 8, but they're not going up.
I think
because I ended up taking a $150 pay cut for my place in Philly to get rented.
You did what?
The one that you were at this morning.
Yeah.
So I was renting that out for $23.50.
Yeah.
And then I couldn't get I relisted it and I wasn't getting anything. Larry listed it for me on the MLS. We weren't getting anything.
No response. No showings.
Yeah.
Nothing. Nothing.
It's just like us in Ruskin. I
So I think what we should do right now as landlords, and the tenants can call us at 855-939-1137 and curse us. But what as landlords we should do right now is get the best rates we have. Why? Because when the rents won't get increased anymore, okay, and we will need to keep our tenants in, you know what will get increased? The taxes will get increased.
That's right.
The insurance will get increased. I don't see with this huge inflation how maintenance will get lower, how we won't be back in times that to replace a whole roof will be 2.5 or 3 grand.
Okay, so let's go back to this. So what you're saying is you should get the highest rate you can get, and you should raise your rents every year something.
Yeah,
I think that's what you're trying to say. Because
really
I don't think you will be able to raise every year. I know
Well,
that's what
you
we
will.
said.
So the difference is, so if you have a guy, he's paying $2,000 a month,
Yeah.
and you want to raise the rent 5%, right? That's $100.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe you don't raise the rent 5% next year. Maybe you raise it by $50.
Mm-hmm.
And if you raise the rent by $50, the person staying there isn't leaving.
You're not getting me. And I will explain and I will give an example, okay? This person that pay right now $2,000, okay, will have availability across the street of a landlord that now have availability, and he can get the $2,000 he used to get. So we rent it for him for 16 or even 15.
It's not going from $2,000 to $1,600.
I hope
He's
not.
not getting the same thing as you.
I hope not. But when the availability will start, when we will see more inventory for rentals and the availability will come higher, of course, we will see more and more people that will have other options.
So this is what's happening. It's not that there's not enough availability. I mean, I'm sorry, there is not enough availability. Although in Bucks County we got 3 new apartment complexes going up.
I know.
That's going to take away from rentals in this area, but those are high level rents. I mean, you got by the mall. You got Simon Mall.
195.
Yeah,
What's Simon
by
Mall?
The mall, the Oxford Valley Mall.
Oxford Valley, yeah.
Oxford
Yeah,
Valley
yeah,
Mall,
yeah,
They
yeah.
got a whole bunch of 2,000 apartments. I think it was.
It's huge. I don't know.
Something
2,000,
crazy.
really?
Well, I think 2,000 is going into Chamonix.
Yeah.
But whatever it is, I mean, it's
More
ridiculous.
likely, yeah.
And these guys are gonna, these guys are gonna, take up the whole market. Why would somebody want to pay $3,000 for the house you have when they can go to one of these luxury apartments? Now I realize that yours is more bedrooms, and that's probably the answer.
It doesn't matter. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Some people want to enjoy those amenities that those places has. Somebody's cleaning for you. You have a pool.
And it's
you
brand new.
I know.
I mean, you still smell the paint on the wall.
I know. It's
instead
great.
of, your neighbor's
dog.
Yeah, exactly. Or the dog that used to live there, that kind of thing.
Yeah, so I get you. I think that as landlords, in order to be able to keep maintaining and holding the properties, we need to get the best we can right now.
Yeah.
Because maybe tomorrow
And
we won't
raise the
be
rents
able to.
Slowly.
The
biggest
yeah.
mistake I made was I left a couple of my units. I didn't raise the rent like a couple of years
Me
ago.
too.
I just let it go and I forgot. I just didn't do it, right? And then last year I had to give them all big rent increases, and they all got mad. If I would have raised it $50 at a time instead of $150 at one time, they wouldn't have gotten mad.
So I tell you what I do. I try not to raise rent on the first year, and then on the second year I'm doing increments of something like 2 to 4%, depend on the market.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's perfect. That's exactly what you should do.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm saying, it's not so bad. We are getting lower rents now when they first came in. I mean, I used to get incredible rents. I used to laugh like, holy cow, I got that rent for that. I can't believe it.
Yeah.
Now it's like, I'm low. I keep lowering, like you just did, Deb. I keep lowering my rents until I get enough calls that I rent it.
Yeah.
But then you add pet fees.
All right, we should go into that. That's a whole thing.
We got a whole
5
3 minutes. Why don't we get into
Dude,
that?
So, all right, so we should
yeah.
go into this.
Let's get into it.
So I have this condo out, the one that you went to today. I have this condo out in Philly that I bought at a tax deed auction years ago. Anyway, so the people said, so it's 2 sisters who are renting it, and they said that they have an animal. And I'm like,
Let me guess. I'm sorry. Let me guess. Is it a service animal?
It's not a service animal. It's an emotional support animal.
Okay.
If it was a service animal, it'd be totally different.
Yeah. So I don't have any problems with service animals. I don't care. But I mean, they're like, when they were looking at the apartment and they came back and they asked if they could bring their parents, and I'm like, yeah, whatever. And we went back, which was kind of annoying.
And you didn't know about the animal back then.
Let her talk. Let her tell the story, okay?
Okay, sorry.
Yeah,
she hasn't talked all day. Let her talk.
Okay, sure.
So anyway, so the parents come back. The mother was just like very aggressive, and I get it because it's her kids and blah, blah, blah. So I just blew it off. Even the father was just like, cut it out. Whatever her name was. He's like, cut it out, because she was really being kind of obnoxious and rude to me.
Okay.
And I just kind of blew it off. And the parents were like, the kids were like, Mom, and the husband, like I said, finally, whatever. Anyway, so they were saying that they have 2 cats. I'm like, okay, that's no problem. It'd be, a $300 upfront pet fee and then $25 per cat, a month.
Yeah, okay.
And they're like, well, they're emotional support animals. I'm like, okay, that's fine. I say you just need to show me the training and all the certifications. Well, it's a cat. I'm like, well, there's got to be something somewhere, so I need to have that information before, otherwise it'll be counted as a pet fee. And she got it really nasty and irate, and I'm just like, whatever.
The tenant or the mom?
The mom. And then
what did she say?
Well, whatever, it doesn't matter. So then, so I had them do the application.
Right.
They gave me the deposit, and then I said, send me all your paperwork for their emotional support animal. And then they sent me this online training certificate that they got the day before. And I'm like, this doesn't qualify as an emotional support animal.
What is it?
Emotional support.
So
animal.
No. What is the
So here's
the
what's
paper?
going on, John. We just explained. So right now, you could go on internet and Google and say, make my cat an emotional support animal, and this company for $50 or $100 will send you a certificate that says it's an emotional support animal. Whether it's an emotional support animal, so basically it's a scam.
It's a fraud. Yeah, exactly.
Right,
Completely fraud.
It's total fraud, total scam. But the people think they can get away with
Without checking the animal at all.
it. Right. Exactly.
Right.
And that's number one. Then all you need is a doctor's note that says, yeah, this person, she can't live without hugging her cat every day. Oh, and as long as the letter says something like that, then it qualifies as an emotional support animal.
No, guys. The thing
In
is,
the eyes of some people, it doesn't qualify for me.
So the thing
And
is,
by the way, if the mother was rude to me, I would have thrown the mother out.
yeah.
But that's different. That's between you. And me.
I have problem with
That's different between me and
attitude.
you. But hold on, let's get back to the support animal because we only got another minute or so. Go ahead.
I don't know who's talking here. I'm getting
You are.
confused here.
You are.
No, so I told her that the certificates don't qualify as emotional support animals, and then she sent me like a 4-year-old letter from a psychiatrist saying that the one lady has, she needs her emotional support animals. And I said, can you get me something that's a little bit newer? Because it's like a script where it expires after a year.
Right.
At least that's what I read, that it expires after a year. And then they got me a brand new one. I'm like, all right, fine, and I'll accept it, And then I took off the whole pet fee. So
it was from like a
So you
psychologist?
It was from a psychiatrist.
Okay.
It was from a letter from a psychiatrist.
So let me be clear. So you caved, but you caved because you figured, hey, you might as well just rent it, and who cares about the extra $15, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, that's the other thing too. Is like, do I really want to keep this place open for another couple months? But the other thing
that
too,
was the real reason.
The other thing too is if they were trying this hard to keep their animal there, then maybe they really do need it.
No. They were trying that hard because they wanted to prove that they were right and you were wrong.
No, but
here's the other thing. Ready? Only one animal is an emotional support animal. The other one you charge. But don't worry about it. You got them rented, and that's what matters. Don't worry about it. But
it's all in order to get away with the pet fee. It's not that she is rejecting a pet generally.
Right.
It's just not to pay the pet fee.
And the ones that are emotional support animals that they reject that they get the pet fee taken off are the ones who do the most damage to the house. Sorry to say that, but we only have we have no more time, so I can't watch you cry over it.
Don't cry. We love you.
I want to thank everybody for listening to the Larry Steinhouse Show.
You almost said.
Shh. I know. I want to thank everybody for listening to the Larry Steinhouse Show. We really appreciate it. I want to thank, of course, Omri the Immigrant and Dr. Deb for being here. I want to thank Glenn Page for our producer, and, of course, Justin, who's doing a great job learning how to be our producer. He's probably going, I'll never come back.
Oh, no, I love it here. Thank you for
and, of course,
being very nice to me.
Wait, you're interrupting my exit. Shut up. And of course, come to investorschooling.com. You can learn about real estate investing, stock options trading, and learn how to not make the mistakes that we made because we paid the idiot tax for you. See you Thursday night.
This program is paid for by Investor Schooling. All opinions or statements expressed on the program are solely those of Investor Schooling or their guests.